esquina a esquina. Un campeón para atender a su rival. Tecate, patrocinador oficial. Evita el exceso.
Arrancó ya la contienda y los podemos identificar fácilmente. Joseph Cabeco, el retador, Canet, vistiendo la pantaloneta en color verde. Los vivos son en amarillo y rojo a los costados, mientras que Guillermo Rigondeaux, el de Cuba, vistiendo la pantaloneta en esa combinación fuchsia y amarillo. Un peleador que es muy cerebral, gusta de estudiar a sus adversarios antes de decidirse al ataque. De sus 12 combates, 8 los ha ganado por la vía del knockout. Es un estudioso, es un esteta, es un hombre con buena técnica y ahí también muestra que trae velocidad Julio César Chávez.
Así es, fíjate, Rodolfo, vamos a ver si el Chacal cambia un poco su estilo para el gusto del público, ya que la verdad es un estilo muy elusivo, un estilo que a muchos no les gusta, pero al que sabe de boxeo pues sí le gusta, porque es un boxeador que pega y no le gusta que le pegue.
Así es un peleador que basa precisamente su estilo preponderantemente en el arte de la defensa, poco elusivo, desde luego espera solamente los momentos adecuados para tratar de aplicar el castigo, no arriesga en demasía y eso, bueno, pues lo hacen un peleador diferente, quizá no tan vistoso, pero que en su momento ha resultado ser muy, pero muy efectivo. Marco Barrera.
Sí, ahí lo vemos bien plantado ahí en el centro del cuadrilátero, esperando una Joseph Adbetko que se aviente con cualquier golpe. Lo está agarrando muy bien con ese upper cuando está entrando Adbetko, pero vamos a ver cómo se van soltando. Se ve ahorita tranquilo, amarrado lo que es Guillermo Rigondeaux. No se quiere soltar hasta esperar ver una falla.
Está marcando ahí con la mano derecha, tratando de tomar distancia el peleador de Cuba, el zurdo cubano, ahí marcando el jab con la mano derecha, buscando distancia. Joseph Cabeco también llega con gran preparación para este combate. Están verdaderamente bien aceitadas estas máquinas de tirar golpes, Lamazón.
Si Agbeco, el africano, tiene intenciones de llevarse algo a casa, va a tener que ir a buscar a Rigondeaux. Que lo encuentre es otra cosa, eso no se sabe. Además, para encontrarlo va a tener que exponerse a recibir algunos golpes. Eso ni remedio.
Ahí lo recibió bien con la mano izquierda. Últimos segundos ya de este capítulo, el primero, y a unos días de empezar las fiestas de diciembre. Queremos invitarlos a conocer las hermosas playas de Oaxaca y de sus deliciosos platillos en compañía de toda la familia. Recuerden que los está esperando con grandes atractivos para chicos y grandes. No lo piensen más y déjate consentir en estas fiestas por Oaxaca. Últimos segundos, ya se escucha el aviso y el primero va a ser historia en Atlantic City. Continuamos en la casa del boxeo.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 2. Continuamos.
Señores, caemos de inmediato. La marca es de Marco Barrera.
Un round completamente de estudio. Estamos viendo ahí cómo Rigondeaux se ve muy potente, se ve muy fuerte ahí plantado al centro del cuadrilátero. Cómo lo frena con su jab de mano derecha, pero ese upper no se lo ha quitado un Joseph Adbetko, que también no encuentra la forma. Sí se está moviendo bien por piernas, caminándole del lado contrario, pero está entregándose cuando entra, lo está agarrando con ese upper de mano izquierda. Guillermo Rigondeaux parado al centro del cuadrilátero, no haciendo mucho espaviento, no moviendo tanto la cintura, pero sí esperando que falle Joseph Adbetko.
Sí, definitivo. Josa C. Munguía, Mauro Arevalo, Enrique Aguilar, Carlos Ayalica, saludos, toda República Mexicana que está con nosotros y también más allá de nuestro país, en Honduras, en Nicaragua, por supuesto, en Sudamérica, que nos alcanzan, ven y escuchan. Sonó la campana, la única, la más importante, la tarjeta de Don Lama, Lamita.
10 puntos para Guillermo Rigondeaux, 9 puntos para Joseph Adbetko. Deseamos, esperamos, demandamos que Adbetko provoque la pelea. Rigondeaux ahí está parado, lo está esperando. Queremos ver un combate.
Es lo que tiene Rigondeaux. A mí me encanta este tipo de boxeo porque realmente lo hace atractivo. Vean cómo con un solo movimiento de apenas centímetros se saca el golpe, pero tiene la capacidad ideal para reaccionar y meter uno. Vean la reacción de Rigondeaux. Pasito para atrás, que ataca con 3. Sí terminó por pegarle ligeramente en la nuca, mi Julio. Qué cosa con el Chacalito.
Sí, fíjate, Carlitos, creo que el Chacal es un peleador sumamente completo, Carlitos.
Sí.
Boxea, pega, elusivo, se quita quita golpes. Lo único que tiene es que a veces es un poco, no del gusto de la gente. ¿Por qué? Porque no es un peleador que ataca, un peleador que force la pelea. Pero vamos a ver esta noche, a ver si cambia un poquito, si le da un poco de gusto a la gente.
Un tantito, que nos da espectáculo. Se lo han reclamado, ya lo sabe. Primero es un hombre que va a buscar ganar. Y vean la combinación que mete abajo. La recta fue justamente de izquierda abajo y el ganchito, poderoso y fuerte, justamente metiéndolo también con la derecha. Está haciendo eso para que también Agbeco trate de mover las manos hacia otro lado. Y te tengo una sorpresa. ¿Quién crees que está en la esquina de Joseph Agbeco? Lo noqueaste en 2 ocasiones. Roger Mayweather está justamente apoyando a Joseph Agbeco y es su entrenador. Termina por atacar abajo. Ya me platicas de él más adelante. Te escucho, Marco.
Ahí estamos viendo cómo sigue yendo para atrás Joseph Agbeco, en el cual está esperando, quiere ver la forma de que se descuide un Guillermo Rigondeaux, que lo está agarrando muy bien, ese upper de mano izquierda, y lo está también combinando arriba. Está haciendo excelente labor. Quiero mandar un saludo a mi hijo Marco Barrera Jr. y a Karim, que no se pierden aquí las peleas.
Abrazos a todos ellos y vean lo que hace justamente Rigondeaux. Nunca deja de soltar el jab. Lo hace justamente con la derecha. Su posición de zurdo le favorece. Vean cómo toma la distancia. Es el golpe ideal de boxeo. Busca tiempo, busca espacio, busca distancia. Y Agbeco no puede moverse porque sabe que de inmediato recoge el jab. Rigondeaux va a atacar justamente con la izquierda, Lama.
Yo te quiero decir, César, que odio que haya esta polémica con relación a la aceptación de Rigondeaux por parte de la gente.
Claro.
Y sobre todo porque la gente que lo rechaza a este extraordinario peleador es la gente que en el boxeo quiere ver sangre solamente, y el boxeo es mucho más que el espectáculo sangriento.
A unos días de empezar las fiestas de diciembre, queremos invitarlos a conocer las hermosas playas de Oaxaca y de sus deliciosos platillos en compañía de toda la familia. Recuerden que los estamos esperando en Oaxaca con grandes atractivos para chicos y grandes. No lo piensen más y dejen de consentirse, pero verdaderamente hay que consentirse en las fiestas por Oaxaca. Intenta otra vez, últimos segundos. Vean lo que hace justamente Rigondeaux. Tranquilito, se la va llevando. Agbeco dice cómo abre este ostión a través de Box Azteca 7.
Evita el exceso. Tecate. Round 3. Continuamos.
De mucho estudio los 2 primeros capítulos. Gran campeón mexicano, ilumínanos con tu magia.
Sí, fíjate, Rodolfo, que creo que los 2 primeros rounds han carecido un poquito de espectáculo. Yo estoy de acuerdo con el Amazon, es cierto lo que dice el Amazon. Hay gente que no le gusta a Rigondeaux, pero hay que analizarlo, hay que verlo como peleador. Es un peleador sumamente muy completo. La verdad es cierto, a la gente le gusta ver golpes, le gusta ver sangre, le gustan los peleadores que van de choque, que van para adelante. Pero Rigondeaux es diferente. Vamos a ver si esta noche pues, nos regala un poquito de lo que él sabe hacer.
Vamos a ver si así lo hace. Y aquí está el trabajo en la esquina del peleador cubano, el campeón del mundo, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Suena el silbato de fuera seconds. El público ahí metido en la contienda. Venga la tarjeta de Don Lama.
10 puntos para Guillermo Rigondeaux, 9 puntos para Joseph Agbeco. El que tiene que hacer algo, modificar algo en la pelea es el que está perdiendo, ese es Agbeco.
Estamos ya en el tercer capítulo y aprovecho para mandar un saludo a todos los furiosos tuiteros que nos siguen semana tras semana. Recuerden @BoxAzteca7, ahí tiene toda la información de la casa del boxeo. Saludos para Alberto B, Saraí Holguín, Román Entonsque, Aarón Flores, José María, a su hija Amparito Trejo, Uriel Velázquez, Jorge Fonseca, él es de Guadalajara, Jorge Astudillo de Acapulco, Vanessa Arzate, que saluda a la señora Catalina y señor Rodrigo Arzate, Luis Villar. Hay muchísimos, gran campeón mexicano.
Fíjate, Rodolfo, que creo que no va a cambiar el estilo definitivamente Rigondeaux, que sigue esperando, como siempre, al contragolpe. Fíjate, estoy de acuerdo con Eduardo Lamazón en el sentido de que dijo de que Agbeco tiene que forzar la pelea. Él es el retador, él tiene que buscar a Rigondeaux, tiene que buscar el cuerpo, buscar la cabeza, ir para adelante. No le hace que recibir, pero tratar de conseguir un golpe que le pueda.
Algo queremos de él, mi Julio, porque así sinceramente no va a llegar a ningún lado y los tuiteros están más furiosos que nunca. David Alberto Acosta, Abigail Gutiérrez, que saluda a Lázaro y Manuel allá en Ciudad Juárez, son sus hermanos. Marco Ley en Tuculiacán, querido mi Julio. Carlos Ayayica, Efraín Soto, Fernando Moreno de Irapuato, Guanajuato. En un momento tiene que explotar esta contienda Marco Barrera.
Pues ahí el que sorprende es Joseph Agbeco, porque las peleas que tiene perdidas han sido peleadores que se le han han movido por piernas. Ahí vemos a Guillermo de RIGONDEAUX. Sí es difícil pegarle, claro. Está bien plantado, moviendo la cintura, esperando a que le fallen, pero está bien plantado al centro del cuadrilátero.
Y la próxima semana, no lo olviden, tenemos la gran final de Campeón Azteca, Tecate Round 4, sábado a las 10:30 de la noche, por supuesto, aquí en Azteca 7. Y el viernes tenemos capítulo especial previo a justamente lo que será la gran final y el previo, porque ahí estará apareciendo un hombre que me parece fue objeto de una gran injusticia. Ya lo estará usted viendo el viernes. La gran final es el día sábado. Suelta ahí por fin la mano izquierda RIGONDEAUX, el Amazon.
Yo voy a reclamar algo de RIGONDEAUX ahora, Rodolfo. Si él se mantiene haciendo lo que está haciendo, va a ganar todos los rounds. Con eso le alcanza, pero tiene la calidad suficiente para darnos un poquito de mejor espectáculo. Un paso adelante en la pelea, señor RIGONDEAUX, y a cachar el cuerpo del enemigo a ver qué se puede hacer para mejorar esto.
Pero es precisamente, Lama, lo que estamos diciendo, que por eso no le gusta mucho.
No, por eso no vende tú, Rolfo, la verdad. Por eso no vende, porque es un peleador sumamente...
es tacaño.
Sí, sinceramente, a mí en lo particular no me gusta RIGONDEAUX.
Pues ahí está el aviso. Vamos a ver qué ofrece más adelante. Otro round donde Agbeco no puede descifrar el boxeo de RIGONDEAUX.
La derrota ante Ramsés Faraón fue muy dolorosa.
Es un robo.
Este viernes,
Dramático.
Alejandro Barrera pedirá la revancha para solo así limpiar su honor.
Yo vengo a reclamar lo que es mío.
Campeón Azteca, la última pelea antes de la gran final. 11:30 de la noche en el 7.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 4. Continuamos.
Todos los días decidimos darle lo mejor a nuestro país. Decidimos darle un mejor futuro. Decidimos darle vida a México. Y desde hace 60 años, nuestras decisiones han sido indispensables para nuestra democracia. En el Senado de la República, celebramos el 60 aniversario del voto de la mujer, trabajando para crear las leyes que garanticen la paridad de género para alcanzar la ciudadanía plena de las mujeres.
Cámara de Senadores, 62ª legislatura.
Sus sueños los hicieron campeones. Ahora, ¿quién será el siguiente? Fernando el Muñeco Uribe contra Ramsés Faraón Agatón. Final Campeón Azteca, Tecate Round 4. El próximo sábado, 10:35 de la noche. Y al terminar, Cristian el Diamante Mijares quiere brillar en el 7, la casa del boxeo.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 4. Regresamos.
Y termina arriba si no quiere nada. La guanta tiene que ser alta. Bueno, ahí están los cubanos, señores, en la esquina de Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. La marca, ¿de quién más mi marco?
Bueno, estamos viendo cómo lo sigue agarrando muy bien, bien preciso con ese jab lo está marcando. Ese upper no se lo ha podido quitar un Joseph Agbeco, que también no tiene la idea cómo poderle cerrar, o que sea empujarlo ahí a las cuerdas, intentar tirarle esos volados para poder que tenga una reacción Guillermo RIGONDEAUX un poquito más explosiva, un poquito darle más espectáculo ya a la gente, pero se está conformando con llevarse la pelea tranquila, sabe que los puntos los va a ganar completamente, pero Joseph Agbeco como retador debería de empujarlo y hacerle exigir a Guillermo RIGONDEAUX.
¿Viste a Roger Mayweather? Estaba ahí en la esquina.
¿Sí?
Sí. Se ven de la misma edad, de mi Julio. Bueno, señores,
No, Carito, no me veo tan madreado, con respeto.
señores, sonó la campana, la única, la más importante, la de Don Lamita.
10 puntos para Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, 9 puntos para Giuseppe Agbeco. Tiene todo controlado RIGONDEAUX, tiene asegurada la decisión si esto sigue así, pero esperamos un cambio. Agbeco lo tiene que provocar. Vamos.
Y es lo que tiene que hacer, definitivo. Tiene que hacer eso, pero vean nada más. Se lleva 3, 4. Ahora también Benji Esteves debe de ser precavido. Agbeco se va de trompa y le pegan en la nuca porque le expone. Y eso evidentemente es error de Agbeco. Y RIGONDEAUX pues lo aprovecha. Le quería pegar unos chivos, terminó por meterle 3 golpes importantes en la nuca. Agbeco quiere hacer eso. ¿Cuál es el problema de Joseph Agbeco? Sabe que tiene que encerrar la pelea, sabe que tiene que encerrar a Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. El asunto es que es tan largo que no le conviene irse a terreno corto, Marco.
Sí, y ahí como vemos, fíjate como que se está empezando a ver cómo le tira. Ahí le tiran una combinación de 3 golpes que viene atinados nuevamente. Ese upper de mano izquierda no se lo ha podido quitar Joseph Agbeco, a pesar de que es largo. Fíjate que lo han estado agarrando, entrando y agachado.
Sí, definitivo. Los brazos largos que tiene el Chacal. Tiene también una espalda que logra él sacar hacia adelante. Hay ayúdenos, por favor. ¿Cuál es la mejor pelea del 2013? Voten en @Box Azteca 7. Sí, ahí está justamente Bradley Provoquino. Puede ser una opción. La otra sería Tyson Márquez contra Segura. Peleo, no, caramba. Sigamos listando. Estrada contra Viloria y muchas más. Escójala usted y defina con nosotros qué veremos justamente como resúmenes de año. Participe con nosotros. Intenta justamente el King Kong que no puede. Calzoncillo verde, ese es Joseph Apeco. Y en el caso de Rigondeaux, se mueve ligeramente, parsimonioso. Lo alcanza. Vean su compás. Quizá demasiado abierto, pero en punta de pies hace lo que quiere con la distancia a Lama.
Me gustaría poder preguntarle a Joseph Agbeko a esta altura de las cosas si entiende lo que está pasando en la pelea. De todas maneras le están pegando. Tendría que hacer un paso adelante, para mi gusto, a buscar al adversario y a ver qué pasa. Así no va a ningún lado.
Mira, yo de repente por eso me enojo con algunos boxeadores. Porque ayer en la ceremonia de pesaje dijo, lo voy a guillotinar, tengo unos ganchos letales, voy a buscarlo, voy a tratar de pegarle y le voy a volar la cabeza. No está haciendo nada, Marco Julio, díganme qué es eso.
Puro pájaro nalgón, Carlito, puro pájaro nalgón.
Échame de habladas también, Marco.
Para mandar un saludo, porque la pelea está muy aburrida. Quiero mandar un saludo a Productos Pesqueros El Ébora, allá en Culiacán, Sinaloa, donde se da el camarón, pero el camarón bueno. Y un saludo para el Mingo. Y oye, también para mi hermano, el Mortilas, que hoy cumple 60 años, mi hermano.
No, hombre, bueno, pues ahí está, Marco, te escucho.
Sí, estamos viendo nuevamente cómo Joseph Apenco sigue desordenado, no haya la cuadratura, no haya por dónde entrar, y un Guillermo Rigondeaux que sigue haciendo su boxeo, y aquí se está yendo el episodio.
Señal, señores, de los últimos segundos. Vean cómo se mueve Apenco para bailar, muy bonitos, pero le falta Apenco todavía. ¿En dónde, mi Julio? ¿En dónde? ¿En dónde?
Faltan golpes, Carlitos. En la casa del boxeo.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 5. Continuamos.
Muévate, mueve la pierna, mueve de un lado, mueve la mano, repítala. Pero cada vez que trabajes con la mano
atrás. Golpe, le voy a decir, tú, Rodolfo.
Pues sí, le está pidiendo movilidad nada más, mi Julio, y de una vez, pues síguete con la magia.
No, pues dos peleadores muy tacaños, tú, Rodolfo, la verdad, dos peleadores que nomás están esperando al contragolpe, un RIGONDEAUX. Pues sí, la verdad, es el campeón, es cierto, el que tiene que ir para adelante, tiene que ser el King Kong Apenco. Pero, pues, yo creo que para poderle conectar golpes al Chacal, hay que atacarlo, Rodolfo, hay que atacarlo, como dice Marco Barrera. No importa recibir, pero tratar de conectarlos.
Y ya se escucha el silbato, el tercero sobre la superficie. Benji Esteves afinando los últimos detalles, y el que afina la tarjeta y la suelta es Don Lama.
10 puntos para Guillermo Rigondeaux, 9 puntos para Joseph Agbeko. Guillermo Rigondeaux sí está en el ring, señores, aunque Joseph Agbeko no lo vea.
Y Joseph Agbeko no encuentra la manera, y un punto donde valdría más la pena arriesgar de manera suicida, pero buscar hacer algo, porque esto indudablemente tiene como destino final una victoria por decisión para Guillermo Rigondeaux, que está esperando simplemente contragolpea cuando siente el ataque del peleador africano, y por ahí suelta algunos golpes también para marcar diferencia a lo largo de estos 3 minutos, pero sigue siendo muy estudiado, muy cerebral el boxeo del campeón del mundo, Guillermo Rigondeaux. Diles algo, mi Julio.
¿Qué les voy a decir, Rodolfo?
Grítales, diles algo ya, quiero ver golpes.
O sea, creo que la verdad RIGONDEAUX es un gran peleador, pero un peleador que carece de ataque. La verdad es un peleador que está esperando solamente al contragolpe. Quiero mandar un saludo, aprovechando que la pelea está un poco pasiva, al pitcher más malo que hay en Culiacán, que es el Malani, y su equipo. Llevan 20 juegos, 20 perdidos.
Pues ahí la llevan, mi Julio. Van invictos. Bien buena, Lama. Y aquí se aproxima Guillermo Rigondeaux, va marcando ahí con la mano derecha y suelta a la izquierda, y con ese par de golpes ya establece diferencia. Además de que tendremos la gran final de Campeón Azteca la próxima semana, también rumbo a otro título mundial. Cristian Mijares, el diamante, después de que le quitaron esa pelea precisamente ante el Vikingo Terrazas, otra de las candidatas también pudiera ser para tener presencia en lo que son nuestros nuestros resúmenes especiales de fin de año. Te escucho con atención, Marco Barrera.
Ahí estamos viendo cómo la diferencia está acrecentando cada vez más aquí. Guillermo RIGONDEAUX lo está agarrando muy bien. Ahorita le conectó un izquierdazo que en lugar de seguirlo, dio un paso atrás para ver si le había hecho daño o no, pero pues ahí es donde debería de meter el presión, poder decir, bueno, voy a finiquitar esto rápido, porque si Agbenco sigue así recibiendo golpes, va a quedar a deber puntos en esta puntuación que está ganando Guillermo RIGONDEAUX.
Fuera totalmente de peligro. Guillermo RIGONDEAUX está en la distancia, en los terrenos donde está desde luego a salvo. No hay riesgo alguno aquí para Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, Lama.
A mí me gusta ver a RIGONDEAUX, pero es que no hay pelea, ese es el problema. Me gustaría poder decirle a esta altura de las cosas, ponerle un poco de espectacularidad. Haría algo por ti, tú tienes que defender tu bolsillo también. Te cotizarías mejor si encontraras el camino a la espectacularidad.
Ahí marca diferencia Guillermo RIGONDEAUX con esa combinación. Otra vez es el que pega y no es golpeado. Se fueron 5 ya en Atlantic City.
Atención, señores, con todo el protocolo japonés, Akira Yaegashi ya viene contra Sosa a través de Box Azteca 7 en la casa del boxeo.
Evita el exceso. Tecate. Round 6. Continuamos.
Con el liderato del grupo en la bolsa, el equipo de Andrés Guardado buscará sacar el triunfo en casa. Europa League por el 7. Valencia contra Cubán. Este jueves 11:50 de la mañana. Fut Azteca, compartimos la emoción.
Yo vi el mar por primera vez aquí en Acapulco. Cada vez que pienso en Acapulco pienso en mi mamá, en mi papá. Quizá en la época más feliz que tuve de mi infancia, de mi vida. Los mejores viajes, los más entrañables, fueron aquí en Acapulco. Acapulco es un lugar que te abraza. Te abraza el clima, te abraza la gente, te abraza el mar. Es un paraíso.
Todos tenemos una historia en Acapulco. Acuérdate de Acapulco.
Este lunes, la despedida está muy cerca.
Yo sé que lo puedes lograr. Échale muchas ganas, hijita.
Tú eres una guerrera. Gana.
Pronto conoceremos al ganador. La Isla, 8:30 de la noche. Y la próxima semana no te pierdas el gran final, en el 7. Ella es grande en la cancha. Es grande en la playa. Es grande en el baile. Es tan grande que por primera vez tendrás la trilogía en un mismo día. Mi abuela es un peligro 1, 2 y 3. Este domingo a partir de las 5:45 de la tarde. Te damos de qué hablar en el 7.
Evita el exceso. Tecate. Round 6. Regresamos.
Trata de moverte hacia los lados, trata de pegar. Ahí estaba el discurso lento, sí es cierto. Ya se ve más tartamudín que Julio. Ese era Roger Mayweather dando indicaciones. La marca es de Marco Barrera.
Ahí estamos viendo cómo Guillermo RIGONDEAUX sigue haciendo lo mismo, sigue haciendo los mismos pasos, los mismos golpes, como que no le da una variedad para que se pueda ver más espectacular. Y sí es verdad, este gran campeón mexicano, sí te ves como de 15, porque ya se ve un poco golpeado ese.
¿Verdad que sí, mi Marco? Ya.
Claro.
Muy bien.
Carlito echándome tierra.
No, bueno, en 3 ya lo alcanzas, tranquilo. Carlos Estrada, Humberto Morales, Karina Guizar, Marco Jiménez, también a Susi, Jesús Márquez, todos ellos, incluyendo también a Ari Vázquez y por supuesto a Gustavo Álvarez Cruz. Saludos a toda la República Mexicana. La tarjeta de Don Lamita.
10 puntos para Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, 9 puntos para Giuseppe Agbenco. RIGONDEAUX cómodo, calzando pantuflas, podría sortear este compromiso.
Ahora sí se mete ligeramente José Agbenco, pero hace un intento. No trata de regresar con fortaleza. Hay ocasiones, Marco, Julio, no me dejarán mentir, que hay que jugársela al todo por el todo. Y eso implica aventar a RIGONDEAUX con los 2 puños y meter una combinación, un golpe que le duela. A lo mejor incluso abajo del cinturón para pararlo un poco, pero hacer algo extra arriba del cuadrilátero.
Sí, fíjate, Carlitos, creo que el Chacal tiene todo para hacer eso, Carlitos. Es un peleador completo, un peleador que puede atacar, que tiene con qué noquear a al King Kong Adenko. Pero la verdad es muy tacaño, es muy un peleador que no tiene carisma, un peleador que no sé, la verdad, así por eso nadie lo quiere contratar, Garrito, porque ¿quién va a ir a verlo pelear así, la verdad? Es un peleador que nomás está a la expectativa, esperando que lo ataque para no atacar.
Y termina por marcar a distancia, ya se empieza a atrever a Agbeco para tratar de pegarle. No ha soltado ese largo brazo, sobre todo el de derecha, que es donde tiene el poder Agbeco. Marco, te escucho.
Sí, ahí estamos viendo cómo Joseph Agbeco, ahí deberíamos de darle unas clases, cómo debe de abarrerarse, a ver si así lo agarra en el piso, uno en la nuca, una llave, no sé, para ver si así invita a Guillermo RIGONDEAUX a que le pueda entrar, invitarlo, hacer algo para poder que haya pelea, porque estamos viendo la copia fotostática de toda la pelea.
Sí, definitivo. Lo que dice Marco, yo lo apoyo. Tiene que hacer algo por revolucionarse arriba del cuadrilátero. ¡Que se muera de algo, Lama!
Mira, Sara, yo siempre tengo mucho que decir en las peleas. Me gustaría entrar 5 veces con mis comentarios en cada round. Y ahora no tengo que decir porque ellos se repiten tanto que nos condenan a nosotros a repetirnos. Comentar lo que sucedió en el ring, en el round anterior, es comentar lo que está sucediendo ahora.
Sí, es lo que empieza a hacer ligeramente ahora el Chacal Rigondeaux. Ya se dio cuenta que es tan superior que puede atreverse a algo más y termina por entrar, termina por pegarle en 2 ocasiones. Le dice, sí, voy por ti, que se atreva. Venga, Chacalito, atrévete, porque Agbeco no se despierta, porque Agbeco no quiere. Y entra otra vez el Chacal y termina por meterle abajo. Y ahora le manda el jab y se lo mete en la cara. Tiene que ser el momento que reaccione, mi Julio, que reaccione.
Sí, parece que empezó bien el Chacal, pero luego empieza otra vez con lo mismo, Carlitos, a pararse. Creo que lo estaba haciendo muy bien, golpeando el cuerpo, pero tiene que repetir más golpes, Carlitos.
Sí, definitivo, termina
queremos tiro en la casa del boxeo.
Que haya tiro, y claro que hay tiro. Termina por meter la izquierda, pegó justamente en el abdomen. Va retrasándose a Agbeco. Agbeco ya no sabe qué hacer. Ha intentado todo y se le está cerrando la mente, se le está cerrando el corazón. El espíritu también. Suena la campana.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 7. Continuamos.
Venga la magia del gran campeón mexicano Julio César Chávez.
Pues parece que despertó un poquito Rigondeaux, tú, Rodolfo. Ahí estuvo pegándole con esas combinaciones izquierda y derecha al cuerpo, aunque él lo agarró arriba. Pero le faltó un poquito más de continuidad a su golpeo. Tú, Rodolfo, creo que se ha portado un poco tacaño Rigondeaux, y un Adenko que no está atacando. Él es el retador, debe de forzar la pelea.
Un poco más de alegría no le vendría mal a esta pelea de uno o de otro lado. La Amazon, escuchamos tu tarjeta.
10 puntos para Guillermo Rigondeaux, 9 puntos para Joseph Agbeco. Con mucho espíritu navideño los dos, poco boxeo y mucho amor y paz.
Y también todos los curiosos tuiteros aprovechamos para saludarlos. Recuerden, comunicación constante todas las semanas, @BoxAzteca7. Ahí tienen la información de esta su casa del boxeo. JG Munguía de Mérida, saludos hasta la Blanca Mérida. Carlos Gómez a los Metamorfos, como siempre todas las semanas. Vaya el saludo a Enrique Aguilar, a su esposa Lisbeth Cobos Jr., Mauro Arévalo, saludos allá a Saltillo en el norte del país. Jesús en Córdoba, Veracruz, con Max Zacualo y su cuñado, familia Valerio Rey. Mauro Arévalo, ya lo decíamos, de Saltillo. También Mario Jiménez, Marco Jiménez de Toluca, Vale de Tapachula, también por allá estuvimos hace unos días. Gran campeón mexicano.
Y también
esto sigue igual, venga.
Y también para ir para con peluca.
Y todos los del clan también, mi Julio.
No, fíjate, Rodolfo, que sigue la misma tónica de la pelea, la verdad, pero que un Adenko que no está forzando la pelea, le está dejando todo cómodo a un Chacal que está cómodo, está boxeando a distancia, manejando ya desde esa derecha, moviéndose, agarrando su espacio. ¿Por qué? Porque pues, el que debe de forzar la pelea es el retador y no lo está haciendo.
No sabe cómo, no tiene las herramientas, y Rigondeaux está en su zona de confort, ahí llevándose la pelea tranquilamente. Hay más saludos, José Andrés Domínguez de Reyes Iztacala, Casimiro Zamudio de Guanajuato. Guanajuato. También el saludo Jesús Márquez, Isidro Miguel, familia Miguel de San Cristóbal allá en Chiapas. Y la gran final de Campeón Azteca Tecate Round 4 el próximo sábado en vivo y en directo. Así que no se lo pierdan el próximo día sábado aquí en la Casa de Boxeo. La gran final de Campeón Azteca, un día previo. Ya lo veíamos, Alejandro Barrera ya no está buscando quién se la hizo, sino quién se las va a pagar. Así que gran fin de semana, el próximo como todas las semanas, aquí en la Casa del Boxeo. Raúl Cobo saluda a Raúl Osuna e Isidro allá en Ciudad Obregón, la tierra que te vieron a hacer. Gran campeón mexicano Enrique Sarmiento de Ciudad del Carmen, Campeche. Sí, la verdad que toda la República Mexicana, mi Julio.
Claro, todos nos ven, tú, Rodolfo.
Bueno, pues estamos entrando a la recta final de este capítulo. Marco Barrera.
Hay que hacer una pelea cómoda, Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, en el cual, bueno, no me gustó su sobrenombre. Yo creo que se había puesto tierno, cariñoso, porque Chacal en Iztacalco te dejaba hasta sin tenis. Un saludo a todos Picos Iztacalco.
Y sin pelo,
Osito cariñosito, porque de Chacal todavía no aparece.
No tiene nada, Rodolfo.
Y ya se fueron 7 capítulos completitos, mi Julio. Vámonos. Continuamos en la Casa del Boxeo.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 8. Continuamos.
La mano arriba, no te durmiendo con la mano abajo. ¿Ok?
Bueno, señores, caemos de inmediato. Marco, ¿qué más me quieres decir? Esta es la marca.
Bueno, él estaba pidiendo la mano arriba. Yo le pediría que tire más golpes, intentar, si no quiere terminar con su rival rápido, sí empezar a tirar unas combinaciones de rápido, 3, 4 golpes, dar un paso atrás como lo está haciendo, pero pues te tira un golpe, ahí lo estamos viendo, tira muy bien esa mano izquierda, lo ha tirado tanto de upper como de recto, pero pues así se queda nada más. Un Josip Adbenko que se está conformando con lo que está pasando, no le puede atinar, pero tampoco quiere arriesgar para poder dar más espectáculo, tal vez se está conformando también para llevarse una derrota por puntos que caer noqueado ante las manos de Guillermo RIGONDEAUX.
Es muy duro ver a un boxeador como Josep Adbenko que el espíritu se le ha desdibujado, no solo del alma, también del rostro. Está clara la frustración, sonó la campana, la tarjeta de Donama, la malamita.
10 puntos para Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, 9 puntos para Josep Adbenko. Los golpes de RIGONDEAUX acarician la perfección, pero no hay progreso en la pelea. Estamos igual que hace un rato. Si hubiera ese progreso, tendría que lastimar, derribar o noquear a su adversario. Ojalá que llegue.
Oye, Carlitos, sí. Y entonces, ¿para qué digo yo? ¿Para qué estuvo tan hablador el King Kong? Si se está portando como... Bueno, ¿para qué digo? Mejor así lo dejamos.
Lo que pasa es que, Julio, todos lo estamos viendo. Le está faltando esa dosis de fuerza para tratar de hacer...
Le está faltando cojones, Carlitos.
Y entra ahora sí el Chacal de manera lateral y termina por pegarle. Ligeramente perfilado, pasó por la oreja del propio King Kong Adbenko, que todavía no despierta, que no ha querido despertar, no se ha atrevido a hacer algo más. Y es que le tiene tomada la medida. El Chacal parece que está bailando con él, que está jugando con él al gato y al ratón. Mete la mano, siempre recta, siempre por el medio, sobre todo la derecha, y la izquierda entra en dos y sí, voladas, entra con upper, entra recto también. No puede todavía, y ojalá se atreviera justamente RIGONDEAUX a hacer algo más. Ven cómo tira a larga distancia por la espalda amplia que tiene, porque también le exalta para pegar. Te escucho, Marco.
Estamos viendo cómo lo sigue metiendo a su pelea, lo agarra muy bien con ese jab, lo está frenando. Un Josip Adbenko que mueve un poco la cintura a ver si tiene la capacidad de poder entrar. Ahí fíjate que lo podría hacer muy bien, aventarle el recto de mano derecha y al plexus, pero pues no lo hace, se está conformando nada más con estarlo llaveando.
Saludos por supuesto al Gallo Estrada, campeón por supuesto de la OMB, y que sin duda alguna le aspiramos a lo grande. ¿Qué pasó,
Carlitos, fíjate, recuerdo cuando estaba peleando con Mary Taylor que me decía Búfalo, hazlo por tu madre, échale cojones, hazlo por México, hazlo me decía por tus hijos, hazlo por todo, y por mí que le decía yo.
Y sacaste esa pelea, caramelo, los últimos segundos, pero la sacaste.
Creo que es lo que le falta a estos dos peleadores, le faltan cojones, Carlitos.
Bueno, pues intenta justamente Josep Adbenko, no lo encierra, no puede, se ve en banda lama.
Está haciendo el trabajo de un artesano, como si estuviera tallando una figurita, con calmita, haciendo bien las cosas, RIGONDEAUX, pero se olvida de la gente.
Sí, tiene que atreverse a hacer algo más. Es importante en ocasiones porque Julio, Marco y otros más grandes y tan grandes como ellos lo han hecho, se ofrecen con la gente, buscan hacer eso. Termina regando, vea nada más como nos regala, finta y termina por machacarte otra vez con la derecha, termina por danzar como lo ha hecho, y ojalá se atreviera algo más. Y Adbenko también se atreve, pero se queda corto en espíritu y en alma para hacer algo más. Y entra otra vez, vean, apenas mide la distancia. Se le va a hinchar el hombro derecho de tanto ocuparlo, porque la izquierda ni siquiera la ha sacado tanto. Rebota ligeramente, trata de meterse a Peco. No pasa todavía mucho. Ojalá se atreva, señores Rigondeux, que termina por tocarle el rostro. Lo ha hecho 1000 veces, te aseguro. En la casa del boxeo.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 9. Continuamos.
Esto es Eldo ATW.
Eldo ATW. Nivel de dificultad muy difícil. 3 vueltas al mundo sin tocar el balón. Lánzalo y con ese mismo pie da un giro hacia adentro. Apúrate y toca el piso porque es turno del otro pie. Haz un giro por dentro del balón y regresa para usarlo como apoyo. Entonces, aún mientras el balón cae libremente, dispara el primer pie y da una última vuelta por dentro y recibe con las uñas la pelota antes de que toque el suelo. Si crees que lo puedes hacer tan bien como nosotros, entonces sube tu video a aztecadeportes.com.
Fut Azteca, compartimos la emoción.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 9. Regresamos.
Pues aquí está lo mejorcito de la pelea, mi campeón. Arránquese con la magia.
Definitivo, como dice mi estimado padrote Carlitos, la verdad es cierto. Creo que la pelea sigue en la misma tónica. Dos peleadores que no están dejando mucho que desear arriba del ring. Uno campeón, uno retador. Creo que el campeón tiene mucho más que dar, tú, Rodolfo. Debe de aunque sea, dar un poquito de espectáculo.
Estamos de acuerdo en que va dominando totalmente la pelea Guillermo Rigondeux. No está arriesgando, pero hace falta mucho más para convencer, para gustar, para entrar precisamente en el corazón de los aficionados. Venga la tarjeta de Don Lama.
10 puntos para Guillermo Rigondeux, 9 puntos para Giuseppe Agbeco. Fíjate que me dice alguien en Twitter que soy bipolar con relación a mis comentarios sobre Rigondeux. Y tiene razón el que me lo dice. Yo estaba defendiendo antes, al comienzo de la pelea, una posición con relación a este boxeador, pero no sabía lo que iba a pasar en la pelea. Ahora tengo que decir que lo que estamos viendo es una no pelea. Y lo tengo que decir porque si no miento.
Totalmente de acuerdo contigo, Lamazón. Totalmente, 100% de acuerdo contigo. Parece que Agbeco ha decidido en este round también hacer algo.
Estoy de acuerdo contigo también, Amazon, de que eres bipolar.
Gracias, campeón. Gracias.
Bueno, parece que aquí Agbeco algo quiere hacer, campeón. Ojalá que sea así.
No, hombre. La verdad, ya no, Rodolfo, ya no hay ni qué decirte, la verdad, con todo respeto. Pero la verdad, este Rigondeux, la verdad, yo no pagaría ni un peso por ir a verlo, con todo respeto.
Bueno, pues te manda saludos, Alec, patrón. Él es de Ciudad Obregón, Sonora. Saludos a toda la gente.
Para mi compadre el Grillo de Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, mi tierra donde me vio nacer, y Culiacán, Sinaloa y Tijuana.
Grandes amigos allá en el norte de la República Mexicana. Dime, campeón.
También quiero mandar un saludo a Clínica Baja del Sol. ¿Por qué? Porque vamos a cumplir un año ya, primeramente Dios.
Felicidades, campeón.
Y se pueden meter a la página www.com Clínica Baja del Sol, allá en Tijuana, Baja California.
Allá en Tijuana, Baja California. En un momento más le ponemos todos los datos. Usted tome nota.
Por favor, si no me voy a enojar.
En un momento dado puede hacer falta y el gran campeón mexicano está haciendo una tremenda labor ahí en su clínica. AGBMX 2010, saludos también para los pequeños. José Manuel Herrejón, él es de Morelia, Michoacán. El campeón García saluda a su Juanita. Erasmo Flores de San José del Cabo. Eduardo González, al señor padre Juan Manuel, que siempre ven juntos las transmisiones de Box Azteca, la casa del boxeo. Y Alec, patrón, ya decíamos, de Ciudad Obregón, en Sonora. algo más, Marco Barrera.
Bueno, estamos viendo cómo sigue de la misma tónica, dando un paso para atrás, agarrándola con la mano izquierda. Yo también quiero felicitar a la domadora. Cumplimos 14 años este 12 de diciembre. Yo creo que
¿Qué aguante tiene tu mujer?
se sacó la lotería sin comprar boleto, pero trae toda feliz, pero le mando un abrazo y un beso desde aquí.
Muy bien, saludos y muchas felicidades. Mucha gente
está,
de Ciudad Obregón. Mira, aquí está. Dila, léela, por favor.
Clínica Baja del Sol, tratamiento en adicciones. Ahí están los teléfonos, pueden llamar. Todavía, bueno, está muy lleno, pero ahí le guardamos un cupito y más para la Amazon y para Carlitos.
Siempre hay un lugarcito, sonó la campana. Más saludos a Ciudad Obregón, a la familia Osuna Lobo. Regresamos, seguimos en la casa del boxeo.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 10. Continuamos.
Haría la mano esa. ¿Me entiendes? Páralo con la atrás, pero páralo bien parado.
Caemos, señores, a marcas de Marco Barrera.
Bueno, estamos viendo cómo Guillermo RigondeauX sigue haciendo su pelea y lo hace muy bien, ¿eh? Yo creo que ahí él es el campeón mundial, es el que está peleando para atrás, sí, es el que no da espectáculo, claro, pero Josip Apenko es el que tendría que tener la necesidad y decirse a él mismo, ¿no? Hay que arriesgar, quiero ser campeón mundial, tengo que meter golpes abajo, tengo que pisarlo, no sé, pero sí, empujar más y demostrar que tiene ganas de llegar a ser campeón mundial.
Solo la campana, la única, la más importante, la tarjeta bengalamita.
10 puntos para Rigondeaux, 9 puntos para Giuseppe Agbeco. La historia se repite. ¿Quién es el culpable de lo que está pasando, señores? ¿Es Rigondeaux? ¿Es Agbeco? ¿O son los dos?
Yo creo, Lamazón, que aquí el culpable es el referee, que le debe decir, tiren más golpes, métanle en cojones.
Se lo ha dicho miles de veces, Julio, pero el asunto del referee es cuidarlos a ellos. ¿De qué los cuida? Pues de un poco contacto que ha habido.
Carlitos, pero también tienen que dar espectáculo para la gente, Carlitos. Claro, la gente paga para verlos pelear. Entonces, yo también cuando estaba peleando, hubo peleas donde no tiraba golpe, decía, tiene golpes, y tenía que forzarme, tenía que dar espectáculo a la gente.
No ha podido, Agbeco, por más que ha querido, por más que ha intentado, se ha quedado pobre en recursos y en herramientas para alcanzarlo. Y la verdad es que Rigondeaux se ha llevado la pelea con un tono realmente de mucha tranquilidad, confortable, cómodo, apenas lanza un golpe, termina por dar un paso atrás ligero, vea nada más escapándose ahora cuando es verdaderamente superior. Ahora quiere ofrecer pelea en el round número 10, muy complicado, Marco.
Sí, ya es muy complicado, ahí es muy tarde ya los puntos que tenía que haber hecho, aunque sí, como dice el gran campeón, las balas perdidas existen, porque pues tendría que atreverse, pues al fin y al cabo faltan 2 episodios, así es que hay que cerrar.
Lo hace ver mal porque apenas rebota tantito y desaparece. Intenta con la izquierda y se vuelve a ir Rigondeaux. Esta a lo mejor le place a él, le gusta, pero lo más importante es que tuviera un compromiso con la gente Lama.
Nunca un retador de un campeón del mundo, nunca un aspirante a una corona estuvo más lejos de conseguir el objetivo que se había propuesto.
Y se queda realmente corto, Joseph Agbeco. Era para atreverse a todo, para intentar machacarlo. Quiere boxear cuando él no está boxeando. Quiere moverse en fintas cuando él no las está generando porque es el retador. Cuando le están metiendo una golpiza, cuando lo están exhibiendo. Parece un trapo y con él están trapeando el cuadrilátero, Julio.
Así es, fíjate, Carlitos, cuando un peleador no lo encuentras arriba, Carlitos, pues tienes que buscar el cuerpo, Carlitos.
¡Claro!
Tienes que buscar golpearlo a las zonas blandas, con la derecha, con la izquierda, y después irse para arriba, pero vemos a un King Kong, que la verdad de King Kong no tiene absolutamente nada, me parece que
hay algo, Julio, que ustedes tienen arriba del cuadrilátero, que es orgullo, y este no te lo pueden pisar, pero cuando ni siquiera el orgullo te lleva o te orilla a tener esa hambre de hacer algo, estás perdido arriba del cuadrilátero. Vean, el Chacal lo tiene como una marioneta, donde se mueve él, lo obliga forzosamente a meterse a su zona, lo obliga a hacer lo que él quiere. Es la inteligencia de Guillermo Rigondeaux, es la parte que Lama decía, me encanta de este hombre, pero vean cómo la gente agarra y dice, ya queremos ver algo de golpes, ya queremos ver algo de acción.
La gente como
claro, definitivo, Lama.
Sí, ahora sí se puso a caminar hacia adelante Agbeco, pero cuando busca acercarse, ahora lo tiene más lejos que antes.
Sus sueños los hicieron campeones. Ahora, ¿quién será el siguiente? Fernando el Muñeco Uribe contra Ramsés Faraón Agatón. Final campeón azteca, Tecate Round 4. El próximo sábado, 10:35 de la noche. Y al terminar, Cristian el Diamante Mijares quiere brillar en el 7, la casa del boxeo.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 11. Continuamos.
Platinum presenta
¡Adiós, amigos!
Up. Estreno próximamente. Te damos de qué hablar en el 7.
La vida me dio muchos amigos y yo los hice mis hermanos. Me dio una oportunidad y yo me gané un puesto. Me dio la posibilidad de elegir un camino, pero yo decidí hacer el mío. La vida me ha dado mucho. Lo único que he hecho es luchar por más.
Nueva Tecate Titanio. Por ti, evita el exceso.
He llegado a Yucatán para volar tus mapas tan divinos. He llegado a Yucatán para cantarle a tus amores.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 11. Regresamos.
Pues ni instrucciones llegan aquí para el peleador, el campeón del mundo Rigondeaux. La magia del campeón.
Pues se sigue lo mismo tú, Rodolfo. Creo que en la esquina a Rigondeaux le habían de decir, tira un poquito más de golpes, da un poquito de espectáculo, porque pues la verdad estaba ganando la pelea, pero sigue sin
¿para qué?
Pero la verdad sí, Rodolfo, porque
claro.
Así, mira, ve la arena, la gente ya se está yendo porque la verdad es una pelea sumamente aburrida, hay que decirlo, la verdad.
Sí, la gente que asistió, gran parte se ha ido y muchos están abucheando el desempeño de uno y otro. El campeón, porque ha sido tacaño, va dominando, es cierto, la pelea, pero no da ese extra que se necesita. Y Agbeco, que tampoco ha arriesgado, ahí también se la va llevando, como diciendo, bueno, pues no puedo. Aquí soy. No sé para qué sigue así.
Parece una pelea de entrenamiento.
Mira, y otra vez el público ahí se manifiesta, se la van llevando ahí y ante la mirada atenta de Bob Arum, pues esto le va a costar sin duda a Rigondeaux, Marco Barrera.
Sí, sin duda alguna, van a tener que hablar con él. Es un gran peleador en toda la extensión de la palabra, muy completo, sí, pero tendría que echarle un extra, dar un poco de espectáculo para poder invitar a toda la gente a estar presente en sus peleas.
Y adelántate con la tarjeta, aunque ya sé lo que vas a decir, pero venga, Lama, claro.
10 puntos para Rigondeaux, 9 puntos para Giuseppe Agbeco. Si Rigondeaux no tirara un solo golpe en lo que queda, tiene ganada la pelea. Y ojalá lo hiciera, hipotéticamente, para ver si Agbeco se decide acercarse, intentar algo, porque si no va a ser ominoso su regreso a casa.
Agbeco no es capaz de apretar, de arriesgar, de hacer algo, de mostrarse, de intentar. Y bueno, pues incluso, digo, ya las bolsas están pactadas, pero sí, el jalón de orejas tendrá que venir para uno y otro, Julio.
Sí, definitivo, tú, Rodolfo, creo que es una pelea pues con la misma tónica. Rigondeaux esperando, un elenco muy pasivo, no busca conectar el cuerpo ni está esperando solamente una bala perdida, pero creo que esa bala perdida nunca va a llegar, Rodolfo.
No, solamente le queda un minuto a este capítulo número 11 y ahí está, sigue marcando simplemente golpes el campeón del mundo, Guillermo Rigondeaux, que mostró algo, es cierto, cuando lo ganó a Filipino Flash, precisamente porque el filipino iba para adelante y forzaba la pelea y arriesgaba y lo quería noquear, y en ese intercambio de golpes tuvo la capacidad precisamente para hacer algo. Pero cuando un peleador se le muestra como Agbeco, simple y llanamente marca lo necesario para embolsarse el round, ir al minuto de descanso y continuar en la contienda rumbo a una victoria que en definitiva será un triunfo, una defensa exitosa, pero sin brillo, absolutamente opaca, mi querido Julio.
Sí, definitivo, Rodolfo, creo que le ha faltado más voluntad, más acción, más golpes, dar un poquito más de espectáculo, pero estamos pidiendo algo imposible, Rodolfo.
Esos golpes los tendremos y esa emoción la semana próxima en la gran final de Campeones Tecate Round 4 en vivo y en directo. La última llamada ya viene.
Está llegando, señores, Edgar Sosa, va hacia el cuadrilátero. El Iron Man del boxeo tiene esa gran posibilidad. Ojalá así sea. Enfrenta, señores, Akira Yaigashi a través de Box Azteca 7. Ya viene en la casa del boxeo.
exceso. Tecate, round 12. Continuamos.
En el capítulo anterior de Campeonas Tecate, round 4.
Muñeco, me voy a ir con Michel Rosales. Tenemos una cuenta, bueno, de mi parte tengo una cuenta pendiente con él.
Lo que quieres es sacarte la espina. Lo único que vas a lograr es encajártela más.
Y si yo te trato de llegar, no te llego, ¿eh? Ya, quiero hacerte fallar, pero para atacar, no para irme.
La grulla te anima para hacer todo lo que quieras. Yo lo veo nervioso, güey.
Sí, pues al final de cuentas sabe el güey la que le esperas.
¿Desde cuándo me tiene hasta la con esa de la grulla, güey?
Las manos el bravo Rosales, al que vemos como en otra velocidad.
Venga más fuerte Rosales, a esta altura de la pelea ya lo sabemos.
Fernando Muñeco.
Campeonas Tecate, round 4, viernes 11:30 de la noche.
Evita el exceso. Tecate, round 12. Regresamos.
¿Entiendes? La mano arriba. ¿Ok? ¿Entiendes? Usted bajando la mano.
Señores, de vuelta a la marca, ese Marco Antonio Barrera.
Bueno, estamos viendo cómo le sigue pidiendo las manos arriba, siendo que un Josip Atbenko no se le vio el hambre de querer ser campeón mundial. Iba para adelante moviendo la cintura, pero todos los golpes se quedaban ahí un poco en el aire, los poquitos que podía lanzar Josip Atbenko. Guillermo RIGONDEAUX es un peleador, toda la extensión de la palabra estamos viendo. Parece que no está peleando, está muy limpio él. No necesita instrucciones de la esquina porque parece ser que todo lo está haciendo excelente arriba del cuadrilátero.
Sí, es que así es para ellos. El asunto es que lo empujaron a generar algo, que sería el espectáculo como tal. Sonó la campana, don Lamicha, dime.
10 puntos para Rigondeaux, 9 puntos para Giuseppe Agbeco. Con pena y sin gloria, vamos al último, caerá el telón.
Termina por rebotar ligeramente, pero muy ligero. Agbeco exige poco. Y Rigondeaux, vea nada más, para, detiene, se mueve hacia las laterales, sube los brazos. Ha sido carente de espectáculo, pero verdaderamente efectivo hasta el momento, Julio.
Fíjate, Carlitos, si estamos haciendo la televisión, que digan quién es la pelea del año. Pero también habíamos de poner cuál es la pelea más mala del año y creo que esta es la pelea más mala, la verdad que hemos visto.
Sí. Eso nos queda perfectamente claro. Termina por moverse ligeramente en las laterales. Vean cómo estudia Rigondeaux. Parece que pudieran ser 50 rounds y los boxearía de la misma manera, mi Marco.
Sí, da un paso para atrás, lo hace muy bien, lo para con el jab. Cuando va para enfrente, Josip Atbenko da 2 pasitos para atrás y estamos viendo cómo está usando el cuadrilátero, yendo por piernas, dándole bola a lo que realmente lleva ganado de calle.
Señores, Santos contra León mañana, el punto de las 7:45 a través de Fut Azteca. Santos tendrá esa posibilidad, señores. Bueno, el marcador lo refiere complicado, pero puede ser. Así que sea testigo, 7:45. Las semifinales, sí, Santos contra León. Intenta otra vez, Agbeco termina por meter el primer golpe de toda la noche, Lama.
Me imagino que terminando la pelea, Rigondeaux levantará los brazos en señal de victoria y será triste para él no recoger el aplauso entusiasmado y vivificante que normalmente premia a un boxeador cuando lo ha hecho bien y le ha dado emociones al público.
¿Qué sentimiento hay con un boxeador cuando te pasa eso, Julio? Cuando recibes en lugar de aplausos abucheros.
Fíjate,
y ganaste, ¿eh?
Fíjate, Carlitos, que creo que Rigondeaux no siente nada, la verdad. Creo que él pelea para él solo, la verdad. Él no le interesa a la gente, no le interesa al público. ¿Por qué? Porque se está viendo, Carlitos. Porque es un peleador que creo que no tiene esa estamina que le da emociones a la gente, que pelea para la gente, pelea solamente para él, Carlitos.
¿Es un campeón sin corazón y sin alma?
La verdad, con todo respeto, sí.
Bueno, señores, empieza a mover Rigondeaux. Aquí
es un peleador sin cojones.
Intenta otra vez Agbeco, va hacia las laterales, pero no logra absolutamente nada. Se encoge, guardia y demás. También ha sido decepcionante para él, Marco.
Sí, porque también Josip Atbenko no da lo que él esperaba. Ir para adelante, tirar golpes, presionar un poco para así Guillermo RIGONDEAUX poderse atrever y dejar eso tibio, porque está frío en esta pelea.
Sí, los que apreciamos el boxeo podemos aplaudirle a Rigondeaux, pero la verdad me quedo con lo que ha dicho Julio. Sin corazón, sin esa alma de conquistar a la gente, con la intención decisión de ser egoísta arriba del cuadrilátero, de pensar únicamente en él y que lo que le reconforta es el ser ideal. Suena la campana, señores, dama tu tarjeta de una vez.
10 puntos para RIGONDEAUX, 9 puntos para Agbeco. La tarjeta dice 120 a 108.
Así es, ahí lo tenemos justamente en pantalla. En la casa del boxeo.
Creo que esta vez la Amazon no se equivocó en ningún lugar.
Siéntate, campeón. Muy bien. Bien trabajado. Oye, vamos. Agua. ¿Cómo te sientes? Bien. Bien, mira.
Get close to the guy. Move your head, but you gotta get closer to him. Now get closer to him.
Sube el ritmo ahora. Él no quiere. Está viendo que está... Tú guardias variándolo arriba, abajo.
Está frente a ti, está siempre en el unidor rápido.
Vamos.
El unidor rápido, que es el que le va a dar ahí.
Vamos, varíase la mano, arriba y abajo, bien variada, ahí mismo. En la zona de contacto con él. ¿Ok? Vivo trabajando, vamos a trabajar más. No te intenses tanto delante de él. Muévate, mueve las piernas, mueve un lado, mueve la mano, repítala. Pero cada vez que trabaje con la mano atrás, en recto para el tronco, en gancho para el tronco, en recto para acá, tiene que combinarla con adelante.
We ain't doing nothing. We just here. We just here.
You got to support to move your head, gorilla fighting, side to side. La mano arriba, no te durmiendo con la mano abajo. ¿Ok? Y fintala, que no sabe de eso, no sabe de eso.
Rafael,
¿entiendes?
make sure they wipe that. They dropped a lot of water in there, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, after completing the distance of 12 rounds, all three judges turn in identical scorecards of 120 to 108.
120, 108 es lo que marcan los tres jueces en este caso.
Decision. And still, WBA and WBO Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, el Chacal, Guillermo RIGONDEAUX.
Ahí está la victoria, señores, de Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. Continuamos, Edgar Sosa se mide contra Akira. Ya está.
En el campanazo se viene el campeonato del mundo, el de las 122 libras. Suena la campana, dos peleadores zurdos de vasta experiencia. El campeón mundial del short morado, vivos en rojo. Del otro lado, Loyanantoy, el retador. Insisto, dos peleadores zurdos. Realmente estamos ante uno de los peleadores más exquisitos, más espectaculares, más finos en el boxeo. Guillermo el Chacal RIGONDEAUX, con esa mano izquierda pulcra limpia, empieza a llavear, intentando medir la distancia el campeón del mundo ante un gran peleador ya de 37 años que, si bien debutó tarde, finalmente lo ha hecho bien con un récord impresionante de 63 peleas. Cuidado, intentando ahí el Chacal RIGONDEAUX con ese estilo frío, calculador, en donde ha sido letal para todas y cada uno de sus rivales en su etapa profesional. Recordemos, campeón olímpico en Sydney y por supuesto en Atenas 2000 y 2004. Está arrancando el combate Humberto, como siempre, midiendo a sus rivales, ¿no?
Sí, efectivamente, y cabe destacar que Sod Koguetiem, sus únicas dos derrotas en campeonato, buscando un campeonato del mundo, y las únicas dos derrotas en su récord profesional han sido frente a Daniel Ponce de León, el mexicano.
Daniel Ponce de León le ha propinado su único knockout en 52 segundos. Impresionante pelea la revisada. ¡Ey! Hay un cabezazo, Humberto, ahí peligroso. Cuidado. Muy atento tiene que estar don Mark Nelson. Se duele y se duele fuerte Sodno Inanantoy. Está reclamando el cabezazo, pero inmediatamente el referee Mark Nelson dice accidental. Sí. Vamos a ver cómo se repone el peleador de Tailandia, porque el cabezazo fue fuerte. De ninguna manera fue con intención, totalmente accidental. Simon, watch the heads.
Sí, no, sí.
Ahí chocan los guantes. ¡Ey, cuidado! Combinación impresionante de Guillermo el Chacal RIGONDEAUX. Lo sorprende después de chocar el guante dentro de reglamento. Lo conecta en dos ocasiones. Está muy mareado. Y fue todo para Sod Loughnanantoy. Humberto Carrera, un final polémico, un final al estilo de Mayweather, Vicious, Ortiz, pero cuidado, chocó el guante Rigondeaux y se fue como chacal encima por su rival.
No, impresionante el knockout, aunque bueno, el cabezazo existió. Este hombre que vemos en pantalla, de Coquetín, se avienta al estilo Robin, porque la verdad es que la caída en el cabezazo está muy molesto, porque creo yo que sí, el cabezazo lo pone en malas condiciones porque fue un cabezazo fuerte.
Sí.
Y después, pues lo madruga el
claro,
chacal,
lo decía yo, dentro de reglamento ya estaremos checando las acciones.
Dentro de reglamento sí.
Sí, saludaron, ¿eh?
Sí, dentro del reglamento sí. Dentro del deportivismo
no. Ahí sí coincido contigo. Mire usted, a esta es la del cabezazo, Humberto.
Pero fue él el que se impacta.
Él es el que choca, o sea, no hay cabezazo.
No hay intención de Rigondeaux, es accidental, pero él está, Rigondeaux está abajo.
Y aquí mira, choca guante, 1-2.
No, es que, ¿sabes qué? Chocó guante.
Inmediatamente se fue sobre él. Insisto, una pelea sumamente polémica. Y si
a ver, mira,
críticas,
no lo toca, no toca el guante.
Me parece que las críticas van a venir fuertes sobre el chacal Rigondeaux.
A ver, ahí vamos a ver si lo toca. Ah, no, sí lo toca.
Por eso lo decía, sí chocó guantes. Sí. Y después, bueno, en el boxeo hay que estar alerta siempre. Vamos, se aviva, noquea.
Reglamentariamente
está correcto.
Estoy de acuerdo contigo. Deportivamente,
quizá no.
No lo sé. Obviamente por eso estaba muy molesto el tailandés.
Ahora, se criticaba a Rigondeaux porque no noqueaba. Ahora lo hace y mira, ahí está el choque de guantes. Se tarda, me parece. Claro, la cámara lenta engaña. Lugnayanzoy se confía.
Sí, además
aprovecha ahí
que el cabezazo. Cabe aclarar que el cabezazo fue completamente accidental. El que se impacta, incluso el que va a impactarse sobre la cabeza de Rigondeaux, por supuesto, es este hombre Coquetín, que va a él y se impacta. Obviamente después se avienta al estilo el jugador brasileño Holgo, como Arjen Robben.
Todavía lo lamenta Lugnayanzoy. Está triste, está molesto, está enfurecido porque él sabe que se duerme. Vamos a escuchar a Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Nelson reaches a count of 10 with an official time of 1 minute, 44 seconds of the opening round. Damas y caballeros, el referee Mark Nelson completa el conteo de 10 con un tiempo oficial de 1 minuto, 44 segundos del asalto inicial. El vencedor por knockout, your winner, by way of knockout and still, the WBA, WBO Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, El Chacal, Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Against Hisashi Amagasa. And as the bell rings, Kyle, why don't you tell us a little bit about these fighters that we're watching right here today?
Well, on paper, Connor, it certainly appears to be a mismatch. RIGONDEAUX is one of the most lauded pound-for-pound fighters in the sport with a glittering amateur career and the perceived lineal champion at Super Bantamweight, whereas Amagasa is pretty much an unknown quantity. He has one bout over a fringe world level guy in Rioli Lee, who's a former WBA Super Bantamweight titleist, a very good fighter in his own right. But other than that, he's been on the Japanese domestic scene. He holds the Japanese featherweight title and the OBPF championship, but this is actually his first bout down at Super Bantamweight, and as we can see from the early going, the size difference is humongous.
It's tremendous. If I'm not mistaken, Amagasa stands at a towering 5'11". There is RIGONDEAUX lands a straight left lead on him. And it's not often, Kyle, that you see a bout like this in which the substantially smaller fighter is the one controlling and maintaining the distance. It reminds you of great boxers like Miguel Canto.
It does indeed, and another guy, a very good shout there, Connor, a man who was always at a size disadvantage. It also calls bouts that modern viewers may be more familiar with, bouts such as Manny Pacquiao versus Chachai Sasakal, where the size difference was vast. In that bout, the bigger guy eventually won, but the smaller guy was dictating the range for much of the bout. We'll have to see if that's the same pattern that emerges here today.
It looks like classic RIGONDEAUX so far as the fight reaches the halfway point of the first round. RIGONDEAUX, of course,
to be expected.
Right, and of course, very experienced. A little bit of a low blow there on Amagasa. But RIGONDEAUX, of course, very experienced amateur fighter. More importantly, in my view, an experienced Cuban fighter, and really espouses in his style all of the things that make the Cuban system so special and so impressive in the sport of boxing.
Definitely, as you touched on there, he was a fantastic amateur and he's looked a fantastic pro so far. And he really has seen fighters of all shapes, sizes and styles, so I don't expect Amagasa to be too much of an issue for him, even though he does appear to be the much larger fighter.
Nice straight left to the body there from RIGONDEAUX. Good uppercut. Amagasa comes back with a counter, but RIGONDEAUX really is having no difficulty dodging all of these counters. And already, it looks like Amagasa is starting to run out of ideas, as it were.
He is. He's relying on catching RIGONDEAUX as he comes out after landing his own shots. And as you can see there, RIGONDEAUX is just too fast for him, too much of a master of range. He steps in, he steps to the side, and Amagasa... It cannot hit him. It's like trying to throw a bag of rice at him and not even landing a single grain.
Apt comparison. And credit to Amagasa. He is the deserved underdog here, end of the first round, but he threw back. He's coming at RIGONDEAUX more than much higher ranked fighters have in recent years. Of course, there was the fight against Agbeko, which turned out to be terribly boring. Hardly any fault of RIGONDEAUX's, because Agbeko was just too timid to walk into the wood chipper that is RIGONDEAUX's counter-punching game.
Indeed, it almost appears that Amagasa's naivety here is allowing him to operate a bit more aggressively than Agbeko. Agbeko's experience probably allowed him to think or to know that he had no chance if he opened up, so he was very defensive for the whole fight. Whereas Amagasa he has a bit of youthful exuberance to him, but he is trying.
Nice jab to the body there from Amagasa. There's just so many layers of defense to Guillermo RIGONDEAUX's style. You know, he can respond with his hands and block punches with his gloves and forearms, like he does there with his raising up his jab hand to catch the left hook before it can land. Then he's got his footwork to control the distance, and we'll see him using his hips beautifully to slip from one side to the other and create distance even without having to move his feet. There's just so many different answers as he catches Amagasa with a bit of a check hook there. So many answers that he has offensively and defensively to any threat. It makes him almost impossible to figure out.
Indeed, he is a multi-layered fighter, and although a lot of people don't believe that RIGONDEAUX is that exciting to watch, for the purists, there really is a lot that you can take from watching his style. If you see him there, he slips the punches, and he's back out. And Amagasa couldn't hit him when he was stationary, he couldn't hit him when he was moving, and he just looks basically untouchable at this point of the game, but it is still early.
That being said, I think Amagasa's doing the right things here. Despite being the taller fighter, I think he's wisely working off of his jab and closing distance and throwing combinations. Too many fighters get RIGONDEAUX with a beautiful combination there, left straight upstairs, right to the body. But Amagasa's fighting in spots, but when he does, he's doing the right things. He's stringing his punches together and not backing off. I mean, that right there is what he needs, even though he was unsuccessful with countering. He needs to stay in the pocket. Here's some decent work from him.
You're absolutely right there, Connor. You cannot allow RIGONDEAUX to operate at his own range, but you cannot run in senselessly either. You need to show him something, even if it's a jab that doesn't land. Amagasa obviously is a much bigger guy, and even if he can obscure RIGONDEAUX's vision for a moment to get closer, you see there, he got close, he didn't get anything on RIGONDEAUX, but he can't run in, because that is RIGONDEAUX's game. If you notice, against a similarly overmatched fighter in Willie Casey, who charged RIGONDEAUX, he just destroyed him inside a round, and Amagasa was already bettered that performance.
Tion Kennedy comes to mind as well, another fighter who was timid and yet found that his only possible solution was to run at RIGONDEAUX and ended up walking into countershot after countershot until being stopped in the 5th round.
Amagasa tried a bit of cuteness there, and that really isn't going to work. He really has to impose his will on Rigo, as cliched as it sounds, as we go into the 3rd round now. He hasn't had much success. His only chance of success is to force RIGONDEAUX out of his comfort zone, and it's hard to do because he seems to be comfortable all ranges, wouldn't you say?
Agreed. And I don't think that nice exchange there, but Amagasa got some shots in. I think if he can convince Rigondeaux to trade, he'll have a better chance. But I don't want to fall into the cliche of saying that to beat a boxer like Rigondeaux, you can't box with him. It's just that Amagasa needs to box in a very specific style to keep Rigondeaux from doing what he does best. There needs to be pressure. I mean, right now, he's still getting hit with counters, but this pressure with this jab, constantly staying on his man, that's what he's going to need to do, and he's turning in a creditable performance so far, despite being such a huge underdog here.
Well, he definitely has the background to pressurize Rigo, because as we know, many of the great Japanese stylists have pressured behind a very consistent jab, and although he hasn't quite mastered that, he is trying it. As we can see, he's flicking it out there and just trying to get Rigo to move into certain positions, which go to show that although he may be overmatched, he's not completely out of his depth here.
And it is giving Rigondeaux, looks like a low blow there, but it's giving Rigondeaux the opportunity to display some of his combination punching skills. He's often a fighter who resorts to pot-shotting on the outside, but with an aggressive opponent, it seems to be bringing the best out of both fighters here today. This has been an entertaining bout so far.
Definitely, and if you see the bouts that Rigondeaux has been criticised for, they come against Agbeko, who, as we've already alluded to, was a very negative fighter in that bout in particular, and also Nonito Donaire, who is a pure counterpuncher who was not able to take the lead himself, and both of those bouts were basically an exhibition of Rigondeaux's skills, and they weren't really much of a contest for the majority of the Donaire bout anyway.
Look at this hip movement here. This is what I mean. No difficulty whatsoever in getting that low, and it requires such small movements to avoid the punches of Amagasa. A couple shots landed maybe on the top of the head there, but Rigondeaux really just putting on a clinic of the Cuban boxing style here.
And also, one thing we need to take into account, which we may not have touched on yet, is that Amagasa, although he has got a size advantage, he has spent all of his career, as far as I'm aware, at featherweight. And although it may not seem like a lot, maybe cutting 4 pounds from that frame may have weakened him somewhat. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep up this style for much longer.
Excellent point. He's already a large featherweight. It's not like he was small for his former weight division. So cutting 4 pounds when you're already likely cutting a substantial amount of water weight to make the featherweight limit has got to take its toll.
Definitely, at super bantamweight, he reminds me very much of Dave McCauley, who was a similarly large-framed fighter and flyweight champion back in the late 80s. And he looks huge here, but as we've already said, look, if you see there, he tries to get Rigondeaux, he gets hit, and Rigondeaux very cleverly ties him up before he can pressure him any further.
There was a telling moment there at the end of the round, though. It did look like Amagasa had the strength advantage. He was able to muscle Rigondeaux around a little bit. Now we start the 4th round. I have to say that every round so far has been Rigondeaux's, but Amagasa's turning in a better performance than could have been expected. He's not looking completely outclassed here, or even when he is being outclassed, he's not given up.
Like many Japanese fighters, Connor, as you know, this guy will be game till the end.
And something I've noticed that Rigondeaux has started to do is, having begun the bout at his range, he's started to tactically close the distance in order to take away Amagasa's reach before then pivoting out and taking another angle. So when Amagasa appears to be getting just a little too close for comfort, Rigondeaux will step in, as he's doing here, and then there the referee breaks him up. But previously he was able to take angles off of that and reclaim the center of the ring.
Definitely, he's forcing Amagasa to reset whilst knowing where he himself is going to end up. So Amagasa is playing catch-up here, and this is pretty much vintage Rigondeaux.
Looked like Rigondeaux bobbed under a body hook there. That's not something you typically see from fighters.
Well, we've seen a few low punches from Rigondeaux here, and I think it's a bit unfair to him, because if he's hitting Amagasa low, that's pretty much normal head height for most of his previous opponents. So
very good point. Some heated exchanges here. Amagasa is really putting on the pressure. He's getting hit on the way in, but this is exactly what you'd like to see. You know, he's not taking a payday here. He's hoping to take that WBO belt. And the lineal belt. We should mention that Guillermo Rigondeaux is one of 9 recognized lineal champions in the world, having become the lineal champion of super bantamweight division when he defeated Nonito Donaire in 2012. They were ranked number 1 and 2 at the time, and so they filled the vacant belt with the winner of that bout.
Indeed, and Amagasa isn't just taking on the lineal super bantamweight champion. He's coming up against one of the guys who is seen as one of the true, if not all-time greats of this era, and certainly one of the truly great talents of this era, and arguably one of the greatest amateur boxers of all time. And he really isn't as seasoned as RIGONDEAUX. He's getting through on this bout so far on pure heart and will alone, and he's making a pretty good fight of it. He hasn't had too much success so far, but you can't really expect to have much success against a fighter of RIGONDEAUX's quality, so I think he's making a good show of it so far.
And right here, see, the more punches that Amagasa throws, the better his success is. When RIGONDEAUX is using his hips and moving around on the inside, he sometimes seems to fall into a pattern of going on the defense too much, going to the well too many times in a row, as it were. And the more punches that Amagasa throws, and here he's very smartly going to the body, Amagasa's having some decent success in this round.
Definitely, and one thing we need to take into account is that RIGONDEAUX is very much a by-the-book kind of fighter, and fighting someone like Amagasa, who's a bit awkward with his height and also with the way he's throwing his punches, you don't get prepared for that in a textbook. Although we said earlier that RIGONDEAUX has seen all types of styles, this is a fight and anything can happen, and Amagasa is certainly showing himself to be more than the sum of his parts on paper.
Still, I think 4 rounds to RIGONDEAUX. I don't think Amagasa's done quite enough yet to win a round.
100%, but he's in good company there.
We get to see here some of the little dirty tricks that RIGONDEAUX uses as well, as he grabs the back of Amagasa's head and lands an uppercut. And he looks like he dazed Amagasa there with the left hand. And he is going to town on the Japanese fighter. He is not letting up.
He has let up now. Amagasa with a show of bravado there, and I think RIGONDEAUX maybe thinks he should pace himself a bit better.
It's almost as if RIGONDEAUX didn't like how strongly Amagasa was coming on in round 4 and decided to teach him a lesson at the start of round 5, but may have gotten a little reckless there.
And definitely, we've seen it before. RIGONDEAUX, we've been espousing the excellence of his style and all of his skills, but we need to remember that he has been hurt by lower level fighters than himself, although everybody is. Marroquin hurt him, buzzed him. He was dropped by former champion Cordoba, what appeared to be a glancing shot. And basically, RIGONDEAUX's one downfall, it appears, is that he can be, if not badly hurt, then definitely stung or rocked. And Amagasa has certainly looked to punch her at a lower level at the Japanese domestic scene. Admittedly, it's a strong domestic scene, and Amagasa can whack a little bit.
And RIGONDEAUX's gone back on the defensive here, though he's landing some nice counters here and there. But as I said before, Amagasa seems to have his best success when he can force RIGONDEAUX to go on the defensive and make 4, 5, 6 defensive movements in a row. Each successive slip or roll or step away starts to grind away at the effectiveness of RIGONDEAUX's defense and leave him open to the next shot in the combination. So Amagasa really needs to put some more combination punches on RIGONDEAUX, because despite that shot earlier in the round, he's not having near the success that he had at the end of the 4th.
Definitely, he needs to use his combinations as if it were an extended feint, and notice RIGONDEAUX's patterns when defending his own shots and use them again to move RIGONDEAUX into a different shot. Whether he's got that in his arsenal or not, and that offensive diversity, I'm not quite sure, but so far he's trying hard, he's getting close, but he's not close enough.
RIGONDEAUX using some flashy footwork here against the ropes, sort of playing with Amagasa. Of course, we've seen him get caught doing this before, getting a little too confident in his own abilities, or perhaps even bored with his opponents at times. When he made that step he made just there, crossed his feet, and then cut to a different angle, that is when Roberto Marroquin managed to drop him. So he needs to be careful doing that against a guy who has proven to be a tough opponent and who we know can punch.
Definitely, but as we know, punching at a lower level and punching at world level is a very, very different thing indeed, and it remains to be seen whether Amagasa can even hit RIGONDEAUX, let alone hurt him. But he is trying, and he is game. It is a cliche to say so, but this chap is very much a game fighter, and he doesn't look to have any quit in him.
Absolutely. And this is what he needs. He lands a body shot there on RIGONDEAUX, and that right hand to the body may have landed as well. The more punches he can string together, the more defensive options he can force RIGONDEAUX to use. the better his chances are of kind of showing that boxing computer that is Rigondeaux's brain a program it doesn't understand. Nice right uppercut to the body there from Amagasa. Rigondeaux showing off his defensive skills, but is going to need more than defense if he wants to win a fight.
Definitely, he's definitely well up on rounds at the moment, but as we know, judges can never be trusted. It may well be that they are favouring. Amagasa is the home fighter, and he's also the more aggressive fighter. And we have seen many instances where the fighter dictating the range and the pace of the bout and landing the much cleaner shots is not given the nod by the judges. And Amagasa is throwing a lot of lever, and it may well be that the judges are seeing it differently to us. I see it 5-0 for Rigondeaux at the moment, but Amagasa's still in there.
Absolutely, and it's hard watching this as objectively as possible to give these rounds to Amagasa, but it's also hard just to discredit him. And I think he may be winning this round so far. Rigondeaux's landed some clean shots, but hasn't really thrown enough back. And Amagasa's actually staying close enough to him to nullify the long-range punches, which is really what Rigondeaux does best. And these combinations are working for him.
I think he may have timed him with a straight right there. It only appeared to be a glance of blow. I couldn't quite see from the angle we're seeing it at, but it did look like Amagasa was getting closer there. He's mixing it up. He's throwing straighter punches now. That certainly wasn't one. No. But he needs to mix up his approach because if you keep things the same, Rigondeaux, as you say, is a boxing computer. It does not take him long to figure you out.
Nice straight right hand there, lands semi-clean. Rigondeaux responds with a looping left hand of his own. But Amagasa is not shying away. I think if Rigondeaux doesn't do something dramatic, this may be the first Amagasa round of the fight.
I think he may have evened it up a bit later on in the round. I don't tend to score even rounds myself, but definitely Rigondeaux landed the cleanest shots at the beginning, and he appears to be as we move towards the end. But as we say, we never know how the judges are going to score things, and Amagasa had a very good middle portion of the round, and Rigondeaux appears to be in autopilot here. Nice little flurry there, that might have stole the round for him.
Nice body shots, left hand upstairs, downstairs. When Rigondeaux gets the space and the time to put his tricks together, it really is, you get to see the true depth of his arsenal. And a beautiful southpaw cross counter there. I'm tempted to give the round to Amagasa, but I suspect I'm falling prey to a little underdog bias here, just being so impressed with what Amagasa was able to do against a boxer of Guillermo Rigondeaux's quality. So I'm going to say that was Amagasa's first round, but to me it's effectively a split round.
I'm going to disagree with you there, Connor. I do believe that Rigondeaux, the last 30 seconds especially of the 6th round, he landed a lot of quality and he was really bossing the range and the pace. We see him trying to do the same thing here. He wasn't quite successful there. But really, his defensive skills, although he can be caught, when he's on point, Rigondeaux's defensive skills are pretty much unparalleled in the sport of boxing today. We will look at guys like Floyd Mayweather, and there aren't many guys like him, I should say a guy like Floyd Mayweather, but Rigondeaux really is right up there in terms of pure boxing skills and technique.
No argument there. We can see how impressive Rigondeaux is, as I said before, moving around within his stance. Earlier in the round, and he's done it a lot in this fight, he'll plant his feet, but then shift his weight back over his rear leg, and his feet will be in the way of Amagasa, but his head will be too far away, so that Amagasa will be stuck throwing repeat punches, none of which land. He can't reach Rigondeaux despite having his foot right next to him.
In fact, we're seeing Rigondeaux use a lot of the same techniques himself. In fact, because Amagasa is becoming a bit more predictable for him now, you're seeing Rigondeaux using some predictable techniques. He's turning off to the right, he's hitting him to the body, and as he turns off to the right, he's throwing a hook to the head, and he seems to have no problem landing it. Amagasa has not figured him out yet. Rigondeaux is just circling him. You notice, especially when he comes to this corner here, doesn't use the same technique. He may do.
But this is where Rigondeaux has also gotten in trouble in the past. When he's gotten into this kind of rhythmic outfighting, he understands the fundamentals so well that he's confident in being able to abandon them to execute certain movements, and will allow his feet to get out of position as he circles, crossing his feet, jumping up in the air, things like that, which can leave him vulnerable if Amagasa can land the right shot at the right time. Beautiful combination punching from Rigondeaux there, though.
Definitely, and the problem is with Rigondeaux, you can time him with a perfect shot, he can still slip it masterfully. So
absolutely,
he is a very slippery guy, as many Cubans are. There must be something in the water over there, or at least certainly they've got a lot of brilliant trainers out there.
that ex-Soviet system. Nobody does amateur boxing like the Soviets. Oh, and Amagasa drops Rigondeaux as he stands up tall, exiting from the inside.
Wow, it seems to me like Rigondeaux, we were just saying it, but it looks like Rigondeaux turned himself into that punch. I need to see a replay, but it looks to me like Rigondeaux turned a bit too much. He doesn't look particularly hurt.
But he's shaken by those punches. Absolutely hurt by those two. And another one. And Rigondeaux, it looked like he was thrown to the ground there, but this may in fact help him having gone down, because I think he might need some time to recover. He's protesting, but I really think he may benefit from this additional count, because he was hurt by 3 or 4 clean punches in that exchange.
Definitely, they look like kind of scuffing arm punches. I'm not sure whether the first knockdown looked clean, but it didn't appear to have hurt him. Maybe it did, or maybe the arm punches or the short punches that Amagasa hit him with shook him up, because to me, I'm with you there. He got thrown down, but Rigondeaux looked very hurt there, very shook up, very similar to the American fight.
No replay for us, unfortunately. We'll have to wait till the end of the fight and hope they sneak it in then. But really shocking turn of events, and Rigondeaux is now doing, as I said before, really trying to forcibly close the distance, because he got in trouble there at mid-range. He was trying to clinch and couldn't, and got hurt while he was out of position. But he's going pretty rough with Amagasa right now, maybe trying to teach him a lesson again. I'm
actually surprised, Connor, that he hasn't reset and gone back to what he was doing earlier, because Amagasa actually did hurt him more in close on the inside, I believe.
Excellent point.
Maybe Rigo's more confident than he appears. He is going to war with him here.
He is trading big left hands. Amagasa with the left hook, Rigondeaux with the overhand left. Clean shot there. Amagasa keeping his gloves up now. It's probably a smart decision.
This is not a first-time occurrence. If you remember in the Nonito Donaire fight, I believe in the 10th round, when Donaire hit him with his best shot of the entire fight, that is actually what woke Rigondeaux up, and he went to war with Donaire in much a similar manner here. It seems like his pride or his machismo, I'm not quite sure how you would say that. We don't tend to say it over in England. I believe it was hurt, and I believe Rigo does have a point to prove. That might end up being his undoing in the future, I believe.
It's hard to believe that a fighter with such an emotionless mask in all of his fights can fight emotionally, but it does seem to be the case here. It may also be a tactical decision. You know, at a certain point, you've got to fight to convince the opponent that he can't continue to beat you up, especially after a pair of knockdowns like the ones he suffered in round 7. And Rigondeaux seems to be breaking Amagasa a little bit. It may, in fact, be working. Nice left hand around Amagasa's lazy uppercut there.
It's got to be disheartening to celebrate a knockdown like you've won the fight and then have the guy come back even stronger in the next round.
Absolutely. And Amagasa's right orbital bone is swelling up badly. He may have fractured something around his eye socket there, one of those Rigondeaux uppercuts or wide left hands. And this is starting to look once again like the clinic that we were seeing in rounds 1 through 4.
For the fight fan, it's certainly a treat to see Rigondeaux opened up like this and forced to show something else which is in his toolbox. But from Rigondeaux, he's got to feel like he's kicking himself a bit, because he was putting on another perfect performance. On the other side of things, a lot of people have, as we said earlier, criticised him for being a little bit too cerebral in there. Perhaps he wanted something like this. Perhaps he wanted to be brought out of his shell and to put on a show for the fans. This is being shown on national TV in Japan. It's going to be watched by millions of people. And there's no better way to announce yourself to a new audience than to operate like this.
Absolutely. And you kind of need, you know, especially for Rigondeaux, he needs opponents like Amagasa. He may not be the top-ranked contenders, but as we know, none of the top fighters in the division are willing to fight Rigondeaux right now. So the next best option for him is a gritty, tough, young fighter who is not afraid to throw down with somebody of Rigondeaux's caliber. And Amagasa has proven himself a very game opponent so far. Though I think Rigondeaux shifted the momentum of the fight back into his favor with that big hard-won comeback.
Definitely. It says a lot for Amagasa that the one round he's won is most likely a 10-7 round, because he does deserve it for the guts that he's proven he has here. But as you just said, Rigondeaux is way back on top now. He's firmly in control of the bout.
And it may be my imagination, but Amagasa does not look as confident as he was before, though these combination punches still coming. His expression...
He does it, and he mixed it up to the body well there as well.
His expression, however, looks a little more worried than it did even in the first 6 rounds when he was being beaten.
We just saw Amagasa slip a shot and take a backward step. He hasn't done that very often during this bout so far, so maybe he is thinking more along the lines of self-preservation now.
And Rigondeaux might get himself in trouble there. We saw it again where he'll close the distance and then sort of push off with both hands and back away, standing tall. He effectively leaves himself defenseless, and we'll see in the replay if that's the case, but I believe that's what got him caught in the 7th round, and that was also what got him knocked down in his fight with Nonito Donaire, when he closed the distance and just sort of stepped out of stance with his head straight up in the air and his knees unbent and just couldn't absorb the shot that Donaire threw at him. When he gets surprised in that position, he can be hurt. When he stays nice and low like this and keeps his hips engaged, he's almost impossible to hurt and generates pretty incredible power for his frame as well.
Definitely, and I do believe as well that Rigo, for all of his skills and the fact that his chin isn't quite the best, he is a pure fighter and he does like to get involved. As we said earlier, he sees anybody landing a shot on him as a dent in his pride, and I think that he's a guy that if you engage him, he's going to engage you right back, which is why I do not quite understand the perception of him as a boring fighter, as we've previously said.
He enjoys a challenge. I think that Rigondeaux
does,
and I think he, I may be reading into it a bit, but I think that Rigondeaux was a bit disappointed when he fought Nonito Donaire. I think he expected a war, and much of that fight was Donaire allowing himself to be outclassed, and Rigondeaux's faced that a lot in his career, and has done it to such a convincing extent that many opponents don't want to try and take his belt from him. He's too beautiful left hand there. As he
timed him coming in perfectly there.
Absolutely. Stepped back on a small angle and then lunged forward with a slightly overhand left that caught Amagasa.
Seems like Amagasa has actually fallen into the trap that we hoped he wouldn't do earlier. He is falling into range now rather than setting up his approach.
Yes. And some of this may be fatigue. I don't think that he can, throwing his weight forward with his shots like that, he can't recover in time to get away from 2 and 3 punches that Rigondeaux's throwing back at him. Rigondeaux has firmly reestablished himself as the leader of this fight. A couple of nice punches to begin the 10th round there.
Definitely, but of course, Rigondeaux is the consummate ring general, and I do think that as soon as he has got a hold on your style, he will do whatever he likes, basically. And I think maybe after the round where he was knocked down twice, he had seen everything that Amagasa had to offer, and therefore he wasn't going to get hurt again. He doesn't appear like he's going to get hurt again now. Amagasa now is very much on the defensive.
See if we got a right hook left hand here from Rigondeaux, because he's doing what he does so often and playing games with his opponent, where he'll throw one right hook without a setup, another right hook without a setup. You get to thinking, how could he possibly throw another one? He does it and then follows it with a blistering left hand. He loves to kind of do the same movement 4 or 5, sometimes 6 times in a row. And whereas with most fighters that would mean an opportunity to capitalize on the pattern, for Rigondeaux, you always feel like you're going to walk into a trap. So he does it just to taunt you. Something we see also from Sanchai Sor Kingstar in the world of Muay Thai, who just loves to play around in front of his opponents and break their wills with his confidence.
Definitely. It's almost like being predictable to be unpredictable.
Yes, absolutely. Very well said. Rigondeaux now fighting at range. Seems to be falling back into an easier pace, but he is peppering in some very hard left hands with these pawing jabs here. Playing with the right hook. That one looked like it may have stunned. Oh, and Amagasa goes down.
Yes.
And there we see it. Rigondeaux throws the same shot twice in a row, and his predictability is so unpredictable that he drops Amagasa with the second one.
Perfectly said there. He hit him once. We thought he may have stunned him. He hit him exactly the same punch again, and he's still going back to it now. He's going back to it. He's mixing it up now to the body. Amagasa looks like a shell-shocked fighter here.
Definitely. He looks hurt. He really looks like he's in beyond his depth right now. Rigondeaux is just hunting him down with these shots.
Yeah, and I think that knockdown might have actually done some other damage, because Amagasa, both sides of his face now appear to be under some serious pressure. Which is crazy, because, as I say, Rigondeaux isn't really thought of as that hard a puncher. He's definitely respected for his accuracy and the snap and the speed in which he can hit guys with. But he looks like he's run over his opponent here.
Yeah, staying all over him with these left hands. When Amagasa least expects it, he'll throw a right hook like he does right there.
Just like he did there.
Really beautiful stuff from RIGONDEAUX, shifting from hip to hip, suggesting punches. He's got Amagasa completely frozen in front of him. The best thing Amagasa could possibly, beautiful counter left, the best thing Amagasa could possibly do at this stage in the fight is to fight back, and he's so intimidated by what RIGONDEAUX is showing him that he can't muster the courage. His face is badly disfigured. Looks like he has a serious contusion on his left cheek, giant mouse that's starting to swallow his right eye. Does not look in good shape as he sits in the corner waiting for the 11th round.
There was a perfect shot there from Rigo at the end of the round. He held out a lazy jab, and just as Amagasa dropped his weight into position to land a right hand over it, Rigo was already ready to throw a left hook over the top, or rather an overhand left over the top, and just caught him bending over into the shot. Just classic boxing there. You don't tend to see boxing like this nowadays. I mean, RIGONDEAUX uses feints like most modern boxers would not know how to use. He's very much an old school, classical stylist in that respect.
Absolutely. Playing with rhythm too. That's one of the things that RIGONDEAUX excels at, is sort of getting you to believe that he's moving at a much slower tempo than he really is. See this pawing jab as he starts to flick it out. He's moving at one pace, and then when you least expect it, he will explode with 2 or 3 lightning fast punches. It's very difficult to time him. Soft left hand there, fakes another one, playing with it, and then a lightning fast right uppercut that rocks Amagasa's head back.
Beautiful lead uppercut there, and it's not a punch we've seen from Rigo very often. As we said earlier, he was using the same moves, giving Amagasa the same looks, and then brought another punch into his arsenal, which 11 rounds into the bout must be very, very shocking for a fighter as badly injured as Amagasa seems. But funnily enough, even though he is on the defensive, he has come out for this round, and he is still trying.
He's still putting forth an effort, throwing single shots now without setting him up, but he is putting forth that effort.
Typical Japanese warrior spirit here. Again, I've rolled out a few cliches as we called this bout, but Amagasa looks very much the prototype for the Japanese fighter. He's not quite as skilled as even some of his contemporaries, and certainly not some of the great title challengers or champions we've seen from the past, but he's right on par with them in terms of his fighting spirit and his heart.
Absolutely. Very well said. Amagasa now starting to push RIGONDEAUX back, but you know, as we see RIGONDEAUX feinting and shifting from side to side, Amagasa just cannot feel confident throwing anything at RIGONDEAUX at this point after having now gone through 2 rounds of brutal punishment, and he's being rocked back on his heels by nearly every shot that RIGONDEAUX throws. Even ones that land in his glove seem to be staggering him. It looks like a vicious body shot from RIGONDEAUX. It looks like Amagasa's legs might be pretty weak at this stage in the fight. RIGONDEAUX now pouring it on, maybe trying to get a finish here in round 11.
RIGONDEAUX used a very nice kind of half jab just on the shoulder a few sequences ago to move Amagasa into position. He doesn't even need to snap the jab out as we would expect him to. He just gives him a gentle nudge just to move into position. If you ask me, I think he is now, you see there, it was quite half-hearted. I think he sees a wounded animal in front of him, and he does seem to be easing back a little bit. I may be wrong. You don't expect sportsmanship out of people all the time. These guys are fighters, but at the same time, Amagasa looks very badly injured, and RIGONDEAUX does appear to have eased back slightly.
And at this point, at the end of the 11th round, you have to wonder if Amagasa can even manage another 3 minutes in there with RIGONDEAUX.
That's it. That's it. They've waved it off. No surprise.
Looks like the corners decided to stop the fight. RIGONDEAUX, showing that sportsmanship you were just talking about, immediately goes over. Perhaps to console Amagasa, but I have to imagine he's also thanking him for such a stiff challenge, an unexpectedly tough fight. And you know that the Japanese fans, as they always have in combat sports, appreciate fighters doing what Amagasa just did today. He went out on his shield. He really did.
He looks disconsolate in there, and you could be sure that the corner pulled him out, because I think that he would have went on even to the end of the bell. He looks devastated that he hasn't lasted to the end, but he should definitely be proud of his performance against a fighter who is in everybody's top 5 pound-for-pound fighters.
Absolutely. He knocked down twice one of the pound-for-pound greatest fighters in the sport today, and the lineal champion of the division, in which Amagasa is not even ranked. So it's definitely an impressive performance that he just turned in.
highly impressive performance. And one thing I like to say, Connor, is that if RIGONDEAUX' fellow titleists do not wish to take him on, then I wouldn't mind seeing Amagasta getting a chance against a Scott Quigg or a Carl Frampton or possibly even a Santa Cruz.
Right, it does a lot for Amagasta's stock. This is a name-making fight for him. He's a fighter that no one will have heard of, but hardcore boxing fans around the world now have him written down as a fighter to watch. And he really does look torn up here in the corner, but I hope he can look back in this performance with pride in the near future, because that was absolutely... nobody expected that from Amagasta. He did more than anyone could have expected. Really turned in an excellent show here tonight. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we'll get a chance to see a replay of that knockdown, but really an impressive performance from Amagasta, and I think he brought the best.
Zil çaldı ve mücadele başladı sevgili izleyiciler. 10 roundluk karşılaşmanın ilk roundundayız. Short renkleri birazdan grafik olarak da ekranlara yansıyacak. Yeşil beyaz şortuyla, yeşil eldivenleriyle Kübalı ters kart boksör RIGONDEAUX. Guillermo RIGONDEAUX bu mücadelede nasıl bir performans çizecek? Herkes büyük bir merakla bekliyor. Francisco'dan çok iyi bir sol direk gelmişti az önce. Mideye yönelmeye çalıştı. Bir anda makine çalışmaya başlayabilir. Her an olabilir bu. Bu yüzden sakın ola ki gözünüzü bile kırpmayın. Adrian Francisco, Filipinli boksör, Kübalı boksöre karşı. Sol koşe, ikincisi çok daha sert. Dedim ya, gözünüzü bile kırpmayın. Her an her şey olabilir bu maçta. İki tane öylesine sol vurdu ki neredeyse yıkıyordu rakibini daha ilk roundda. Francisco nerede olduğunun farkına vardı. Çok önünde duruyor, hareketsiz duruyor. Bu gerçekten onun için iyi bir tercih değil. Bir sol direkt daha geldi. Amatör boksun kralı var karşısında. Profesyonelde de çok iyi gidiyor. Guillermo. Miami'de yaşıyor, Amerika'da Kübalı boksör. WBO ve WBA'in Süper Horoz Lig'de dünya şampiyonu Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. Bir yıldır ilk kez maça çıkıyor ve bu yüzden de şampiyonluk kemerleri boşta. Kontrat problemleri yaşıyor menajeriyle, şirketiyle. Bu sebeple daha yeni maça çıkabildi. Şimdi Adrian Francisco roundu tamamlayabilmenin mutluluğu içinde köşede. Jorge Rubio antrenörü. RIGONDEAUX'un köşesinde bir hareketlilik söz konusu. Çok sessiz, sakin bir şekilde bir tarzı var.
You put more pressure on him, okay? Double your jab up, okay? Don't throw anything. Land with a double jab. With straight right hands, uppercuts up. Don't let him control.
Guillermo RIGONDEAUX bütün dünya klasmanında 1168 boksör arasında ikinci durumda bulunuyor. Şu anda ondan daha iyi olarak kim var? İstatistiki bilgilere göre Carl Frampton var. Kendisi şu anda IBF ve WBA'in dünya şampiyonluk maçına çıkacak Scott Quick'le. IBF'in şampiyonu Süper Horoz Siklet'te Carl Frampton. Carl Frampton'ın maçlarında Türk televizyonlarında defalarca izlediniz. Francisco yine hareketli. Üzerine giderken bir sol kroşe denemesinde bulundu ama çok çabuk bir şekilde bertaraf etti orada hemen RIGONDEAUX. Sol direkt midesine doğru inmeye çalıştı. Sol köşeyi attı ama sonradan vazgeçti. Yeltendi diyelim. Oyun kurdurmuyor. RIGONDEAUX. Guillermo Kübalı boksör. Sol direği bakın. Bir anda fırlıyor. Rakibi yatırabilecek pozisyonlara geliyor. Tabii ki bir senedir maç yapmaması da onun dikkatli davranmasına sebep oluyor. Kübalı boksörün. Brian Francisco bunu avantaja çevirmek zorunda. Sağ direkten çok iyi kaçtı. RIGONDEAUX. Kenny Bayless maçın hakemi. Floyd Mayweather, Pac-Man 100 yılın maçını yönetmişti. Kenny Bayless. Bununla da kalmadı. Andre Berto maçını da o idare etmişti. Francisco adım adım üzerine gitmeye çalışıyor. Ringde kalmak RIGONDEAUX'un avantajına. Onu bir sonraki büyük maçlara hazırlayabilmek için bu şart. JZ'nin JZ Promotion şirketi Rock Nation onunla uzun süreli bir anlaşma imzaladı. 10 milyon dolar kazanacak Guillermo RIGONDEAUX attığı bu imzanın sonrasında toplamda. Bu anlaşmanın ilk maçına bu gece çıkıyor. İşte böyle Francisco karşısında sol direk. Yani maçın isabet oranı, yumruk isabet oranı çok az. Bu sebeple seyirci de sıkılmaya başladı. Sol direk bir tane Francisco'dan. İki boksörde de pek yaprak kımıldamadı açıkçası şu ana kadar. Bir ilk roundda bir 5-10 saniye acayip iki tane sol koşesi vardı. Ekranlardaki Kübalı şampiyon boksörün.
Okay, vamos a trabajar ese ella y vamos a combinar un poquito más. Okay, vamos. Claro, ale finta.
Şu dönemde ve bu arada Evander Holyfield ekranlarda. Evander Holyfield Mike Tyson'ı yendiği maçlarla bütün dünyada efsane haline dönüşmüştü. Evander Holyfield. Kulağını ısırmıştı Mike Tyson'un.
Ouais, ben, ça va jazz, Adrian.
Dünyanın en büyük şampiyonlarından bir tanesi. 1984'te de olimpiyat oyunlarında bronz madalya elde etmişti Los Angeles'ta. Olimpik başarısı da söz konusu Evander Holyfield'ın. Hep anlatıyoruz ya bu kadar büyük şampiyon diye. Onun aynı zamanda olimpiyat bronz madalyası da söz konusu. Tabii herhalde hayatında unutmayacağı olaylardan bir tanesi de Evander Holyfield'ın Lennox Lewis'e karşı bir galibiyetinin olamaması. Mike Tyson'ı dize getirmişti. O maçlar asla unutulmaz.
Work out, work out. Stop, stop, stop.
Tekrar mücadeleye dönüyoruz. 3. roundda olimpiyat şampiyonu boksör, 2 kez olimpiyat şampiyonu boksör RIGONDEAUX
Bring him up, bring him up.
ne yaptıysa Francisco'ya karşı o yumruk kombinasyonunu isabet ettiremedi. 2 sol koşesinin dışında. Floyd Mayweather da yeşil eldivenlere merak sarmıştı. Ama bu daha bir yeşil. Başka bir yeşil. WBC'nin renkleridir. Yeşil. Sol koşeyi vurdu. Ters kart boksörü olması gerek. Yani bu sebeple de açıkçası Francisco biraz zorlanıyor. Rakibine oyun tutturmak pek o kadar da kolay olmadı bu mücadelede. Chris Avalos, Jason Canoy gibi büyük boksörlerle ringe çıkmış bir isim. Graham Francisco. %100'ümü eğer RIGONDEAUX karşısında ortaya koyarsam ben bu maçı kazanırım demişti. Ama şu anda ben %20'sini bile görmüyorum diyebilirim. Bu kontra yumruklara yakalanmamak için adeta dans etmeyi bile göze alıyorlar. Sol koşa yine çenesine isabet etti. Çok sert olmamakla birlikte en net yumruklardan bir tanesiydi. Sağ kroşe yine, sağ direk. Kızışacak mı acaba maç? Sol aparkat vardı orada. Son saniyeler 3. round bitmek üzere. Hani Francisco %100'ümü ortaya koyarsam ben bu maçı alırım dedi ya. İşte aynı basın toplantısında sen neler söylemek istersin Guillermo RIGONDEAUX diye sorduklarında o hiç Francisco'dan bahsetmedi bile. Yani söylediği tek bir şey vardı. Ben gelecek sene Roman Gonzalez ve Vasily Lomachenko ile görülecek bir hesabım var. Ben onların peşindeyim demişti. Vasily Lomachenko da 2 kez olimpiyat şampiyonu Ukrayna'da boksör. Roman Gonzalez de rekora doğru gidiyor. Bir bakmam lazım herhalde 44 maçta 44 galibiyet. Miguel Cotto. Dünya şampiyonluk karşılaşması için hazır kıta bekliyor. WBC'nin dünya şampiyonu Miguel Cotto çok büyük bir şok yaşadı. Dördüncü round başladı. Sağ direk. Sağlı sollu direk yumruklar. Kübalı boksör yanına yaklaştırmıyor bile. Deniyor, bakın bunu denedi. Çok güzel bir sağ kroşe vurdu Francisco. Alnının sağ tarafında bir kızarıklık söz konusu Francisco'nun. Sol direk çok sert. Neredeyse sırt üstü yere yapıştıracaktı rakibini. Ama bu olmadı. Bayağı bir sallandı ama. Kübalı olimpiyat şampiyonu tek gözünü böyle kısarak rakibini süzüyor. Carl Frampton'la bu tempoyla bu şekilde maç yapmaya kalkarsa hayatının en büyük derslerinden birini görür. Olimpiyat şampiyonu Francisco. Adım adım üzerine gitmeye çalışıyor. Ama bu pek de kolay olmuyor. Sol direk hemen karşılık buldu. Kübalı boksör hep tuzağa düşürmek niyetinde, rakibe göre oyun kurdu şu ana kadar hep. Bakın karşıda esneyerek maçı izleyen bir boks sever var. Bir takım protestolar da yükselmeye başladı. Mandalar Bay'da, Las Vegas'ta. Francisco gel üzerime demeye başladı. Sol koşeyi atarken bir tane sağ yedi. Herkes gülüyor. Rigondeaux hariç. Francisco. Ters kart karşısında o gardını hiç bozmadı. 10. round. Bakalım gelecek mi? Otoritelerin birçoğu bu maçın knockout'la bitebileceği şeklinde konuşuyordu. Ama tempo sanki ilerleyecekmiş gibi. Düşük bir tempo. Alvarez'in kolu bu. İşte Alvarez. Dedim ya, Miguel Cotto çok büyük bir şok yaşadı. Bu şoku birazdan açıklayacağım. Alvarez'in yüzü güler tabii. Eldiven bandajı yapılıyor. Canlı olarak izliyorsunuz şu an. Freddy Rowe. Miguel Cotto'nun antrenörü. Bakın rakibinin antrenörü. O eldiven düzgün bağlanıyor mu diye kontrol amaçlı orada. Beşinci round başladı. Çok iyi direkler, karşılıklı yumruklar, sert bir mücadeleyle başladı. Rigondeaux kendisini göstermeye başladı. Hakem Kenny Bayless araya giriyor. Sağ kroşe. Rigondeaux önüne doğru aldı rakibi. Üzerine de çekiyor. Guillermo. Bakın adım adım gidiyor. Bir fırsat bulursa bir anda ters tarafa yürüyüp attığı o sol direkler başarıya ulaştırıyor her zaman kendisini. Daha hareketli bir round. Beklentileri karşılayacak mı bakalım? Sağ direk ortaya aldı tekrar. Sol direk çok iyi. Francisco hala üzerine gidiyor. Sanki ciddi bir kondisyon antrenmanı yapar görüntüde Rigondeaux. Yani ayakta kalayım, ringde kalayım, uzun sürsün, biraz çalışayım. Zaten uzun zamandır boks yapmıyorum havasında sanki. Ama kırışmaya da girmiyor. Riske girmiyor. Bakın hareketli bir şekilde bekliyor rakibini. Sürekli dans ediyorlar. İki tane sol. Önce çeneye, sonra mideye denedi. Kübalı boksör. Şampiyonlar şampiyonu bir isim.
No.
Francisco eğilen rakibine öyle bir sağ kroşe denedi ama o da isabet bulmadı çok fazla. Sol kroşe geldi Francisco'dan. Sol direkt 2 tane arka arkaya. Francisco devam etti. Zil sesi roundu bitirdi. Gong sesiyle birlikte köşeye geçtiler.
Nasa harap ka rin para hindi siya makabuilo. Ha? Hindi siya makabuilo pag nasa harap ka palagi. Ha? Okay? Pag siya pumasok sa'yo, delikado. Pag siya pumasok, delikado.
Sevgili izleyiciler, 28 Kasım'da Vladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury. Bu maç tarihi bir mücadele ağır siklette. Yenilgisiz İngiliz Tyson Fury mi? Şampiyonluklarını yıllardır bırakmayan 19 maçtır. Rakiplerini darmadağın eden Vladimir Klitschko mu Ukraynalı mı? 4 şampiyonluk kemeri birden ringde olacak haftaya cumartesi gecesi. Sol koşa vurdu o bölgede. Francisco adımlarını daha da hızlatmaya çalışıyor. Ama sol koşa vurarak gitmeye çalıştığı için zaten baştan kaybediyor. Biraz sağ yumruğunu yukarıya kaldırdığı anda RIGONDEAUX o attığı sol koşa zaten boşa gidiyor. Yani boşa gittiğinde hemen sağ aparkatı çeneye doğru yöneltecek mi diye bekliyoruz. O da olmuyor. Francisco sabahtan beri bakın sol koşa vurmaya çalışıyor. Ama isabet yok. Yani belki bir guard değiştirse, daha değişik bir şeyler yapsa, buradan sonra belki şimdi maçı kime verecekler? Kimin kime karşı üstünlüğü var? Bunu da anlamak gerçekten çok zor. RIGONDEAUX Sadre'yi vurdu, çekildi hemen. Olimpiyat şampiyonu yine bekliyor rakibini. Olduğu yerde eskivlerini yapıyor, adımlarını uzaklaştırmadan. Hakem yine durdurdu, yine başlattı. Sol direk. RIGONDEAUX'dan da sağ direk. Maçın başında o attığı 2 tane sol kroşe, açıkçası RIGONDEAUX'un attığı o 2 sol kroşe beni fazlasıyla umutlandırmıştı bu mücadele için. Unutulmaz bir maça herhalde şahitlik edeceğiz diye düşünüyordum ama Francisco bir sağ kroşe vurdu çenesine. Çok hareketli yine. Yakalatmıyor kendisini RIGONDEAUX. Sağ kroşe yedi bir tane daha. Şimdi neredeyse diz seviyesine kadar düştü. Gardını çok etkili kullandı orada RIGONDEAUX. Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, Kübalı boksör. Sağ direk. Bir tane daha sağ direk geldi. Solu denedi. Orada eskivle kaçmayı başardı. Bir arkadaşımız Cemal Taştan adlı bir arkadaşımız Instagram'da yazmış. Demiş ki RIGONDEAUX resmen idman yapıyor demiş. Yani antrenman yapabilmek için aslında böyle bir rakibe gerek yok. Kendi kendinize 12 round gölge boksu yapsanız aynı şey. Daha fazlası lazım antrenman için. Holly Holm ekranlarda. Holly Holm. Ronda Rousey'i darmaduman etti ikinci roundda. 1'e 20 veriliyordu Holly Holm'ün kazanabilme ihtimaline, ama o ikinci roundda Ronda Rousey'i knockout etmişti. UFC'de Mixed Martial Arts, karışık karma dövüş sanatlarında. O da karşılaşmayı izleyenler arasında sadece MMA yapmıyor sevgili izleyiciler. O kickbox ve boksun da altın kızı. Boksta birçok maçı var. Ronda Rousey'i de burada görmek isterdik ama o bir 6 ay herhalde pek piyasada olmayacak. Çünkü doktorlar ona öyle tavsiye ettiler. Devam ediyoruz. 7. rounddayız. Francisco aradan sol direkt vurdu. Bir de sağ kroşe RIGONDEAUX'dan. Herhalde Francisco'nun kazandığını hakemler ilan ederse tarihi bir ders verilmiş olacak RIGONDEAUX'a. Böyle bir şey yaparlar mı bilmiyorum ama attığı imzadan sonra bu pek mümkün görünmüyor. Yani çünkü baktığınız zaman 10 parmağınızın, yani hangisini saysanız attığı yumruk sayısına denk getirebilirsiniz. 5-10 tane yumruk vardı toplamda isabet eden. Net, işte bu dediğimiz yumruklardan bahsediyorum. Aradaki mesafeyi hiçbir şekilde bozmadılar. Sağ direk çeneyi buldu. Şimdi midesine sol direk. Arkasından bir sol direk daha çeneye. Tam karşıdan vuruyor bunları hem de. RIGONDEAUX, Kübalı şampiyon. Francisco yakalamaya çalışıyor RIGONDEAUX'u sürekli. Kovalamaca hep onun tarafından yapılıyor. RIGONDEAUX backsteplerle, yani geri adımlarla sürekli rakibinden kaçıyor ama dönüşünde de bir iki darbeyle savuşturuyor. Puan toplamaya çalışıyor. Kübalı. Filipinli boksör de şimdi aynılarını denemek istedi. Maçı daha izlenebilir hale getirmek isteyen aslında Francisco. Kübalı sağ kroşe vurdu. Filipinli boksör Francisco'nun attığı sol kroşeden sonra round tamamlandı. İşte Alvarez çocuklarıyla birlikte, ailesiyle birlikte artık son vedalaşmalarını yaptı. Belki de yeni geldiler onlar soyunma odasına. Onlara hoş geldin dedi. Miguel Cotto. Yaşadığı şok şu: WBC onun kemerini boşa çıkarttı. Birkaç gün önce. Boşa çıkarttı kemerini. WBC şampiyonu olarak değil, şu anda koltukta oturmuyor. Sebebini anlatacağım. Sekizinci round. Bir tane sağ. Arkadan bir sağ daha. Sol koşeyi çok iyi gönderdi aslında. Filipinli bakın yine bunu deniyor. Swing tarzında böyle açıktan gelen yumruklar bunlar. Koltuğunun altına aldı Francisco'yu. Drian, Francisco, Filipinli boksör kırmızı eldivenleriyle ringde. Yeşil eldivenleriyle de RIGONDEAUX, Kübalı şampiyon. Son rounda doğru giderken artık knockout beklentileri ucuzlamaya başladı. Kenny Bayless ayırdı, tekrar başlattı. Sol direklerle sokuluyor Francisco. Bakın ama o kadar iyi geri kaçıyor ki bu yumrukları isabet ettirmek zaman zaman mucizeye dönüşüyor. Hatta isabet ettirdiği anda şok oluyoruz.
Stop.
Yine kafa kafaya verdiler o bölgede. Sol direk, sağ kroşe ve bir sol direkle cevap geldi. İşte şunları artırın, seyir zevki yükselsin biraz mücadelede. Yakın mesafeye girmesi şart. Rakibi köşelere doğru sürüklemesi, köşelerde mücadelesini sürdürmesi belki bir ilaç olabilir Francisco açısından. Aksi takdirde böyle uzak mesafede ringin ortasında bunları başaramadığı çok aşikar. RIGONDEAUX sağ direği aldı. Çok net bir sağ direk aldı. Kafası bir karış geri gitti geldi. Kübalı olimpiyat şampiyonluğun. Yine isabetli yumruk geldi. Francisco vakit kaybetmeden tekrar rakibinin karşısında buldu kendini. Ve bakın orada öyle bir ittirdi ki bir anda boşluğa düşünce ringin iplerine tutundu, öyle ayakta kaldı. Zaten bir knockdown olsaydı hakem sayardı. Tam zil sesiyle birlikte gidiyordu. Vladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury 28 Kasım Cumartesi gecesi canlı yayın Almanya Düsseldorf 65.000 kişilik Esprit Arena. Vay mükemmel bir gece sizleri bekliyor. NTV Spor ekranlarında olacak. Canlı yayınla.
Controlled combinations. Controlled combinations. Understand? Off your jabs.
Yumruk serilerini kontrollü yapman gerekiyor diye bir uyarı. Sağ direk. Direkt yumruklar karşılıklı. RIGONDEAUX gardını indirdi iyice. Rakibinin attığı yumruğun üzerinden yumruk peşinde. Rakibinin attığı o yumruktan sonra boşa alıyor. Sonrasında direğini üstten göndermeye çalışıyor. Yapabildiği zaman bunları yaptı hep. Sol aparkat. Sol direk. Belki de maçın ilk aparkatıydı bu. Kapalı gardıyla üzerine doğru yöneldi RIGONDEAUX'un. Francisco işte istediği köşeye doğru sıkıştırıyor ama bakın hemen RIGONDEAUX bir oyunda maçı tekrar ortaya almayı başarıyor. Tam tersi oldu. Şimdi köşeye sürükleyen taraf RIGONDEAUX oldu. Sol direk çok net. Francisco bir sol direk daha giriyor. Bir yıldır ilk kez ringe çıkıyor. Kontrat problemleri sebebiyle RIGONDEAUX. Ama Kübalı boksörler de genelde böyle sorunlar yaşanıyor. Kontrat problemlerini görüyor ki Gamboa da yaşamıştı. 50 Cent ve Ahmet Öner arasında yaşanan o olayları da hatırlıyoruz. O da Kübalı olimpiyat şampiyonuydu. Sadrek. Bir Sadrek daha. Ortada mücadele. Seyirciye gülümsüyor Francisco. Çok enteresan sahneler ekranlarda. Rigondeaux'a söylüyor, şikayet ediyor onu seyircilere. Ben ne yapayım, ben gidiyorum üzerime, o kaçıyor diyor. Bakalım bu serzeniş maçı alevlendirecek mi? Çok iyi bir sol kroşe geldi Francisco'dan. Kızdırdı biraz Kübalı'yı. Çok iyi sağ direkler. 9. raundun son saniyelerinde hakem ayırdı ve uyardı Kübalı boksörü. 35 yaşındaki Kübalı bu roundu da böylelikle atlatmış oldu. Ama bu roundda bence 1-2 tane çok net yumruk aldı. 18 Aralık tarihinde Cuma'ya denk geliyor. Almanya'da Avni Yıldırım ringe çıkacak, Selçuk Aydın ringe çıkacak. Şimdiden hatırlatmasını yapalım. Arena Box gecesinde canlı yayınlanacak NTV Spor'da.
Un poco más arriba. Este es el último round. Vamos, este es el último round ya. Hay que tirar y mueve la pierna. Vamos, que tú eres rigondeado. Hey, ¿qué pasa? Vamos a mover la pierna así y vamos a tirar. ¿Ok? Vamos a tirar como tú siempre has hecho, que mueve la pierna.
So hell man, it's good work, good work, good work.
Touch gloves. It's clean. Keep it clean. Malay Olympia.
Son round, son 3 dakika artık. 10. round. Sadrek kafasındaki ne kadar ter varsa hepsini fırlattırdı. Resmen ekranlara yansıdı bu durum. Sadreklerle önünde tuttu yine Francisco'yu. Francisco'dan da çok iyi bir sol direk geldi. Sağ direk çok iyi Francisco'dan. Francisco yaklaşmaya çalışıyor olimpiyat şampiyonuna ve profesyonelde dünya şampiyonu Rigondeaux'a. Daha 7. maçında geçici dünya şampiyonu oldu. 9. maçında da dünya şampiyonluğunu resmen elde etti. Olimpiyat şampiyonu Rigondeaux. Ama Vasily Lomachenko bunu daha iyi başardı. 3. maçında mı neydi? 2. 3. maçında dünya şampiyonu olmuştu. Vasily, o da 2 kez olimpiyat şampiyonu. 3. maçında. Francisco ters kart rakibi karşısında ciddi anlamda bayağı bir zorlandı. Maçı 10. raunda kadar taşıdı. Rigondeaux bölüm bölüm 10'ar saniyelik dilimler söyleyebiliriz maçın başından beri. Öyle çok hızlı, atik olduğunu gördük. Alkış toplayan performanslar sergiledi. Ama karşılaşmanın çok ciddi bir bölümünde de hep beklenti içinde oldu. 10 roundluk karşılaşmada artık son saniyeler. Francisco üzerine giderken bir sağ direk geldi. Sol direk. Bunlar isabet yok. Son bir fırsat artık. Maç bitti bitecek. Sağlı sollu direklerle püskürttü. Ring etrafında turlamaya devam ediyor RIGONDEAUX. Francisco peşini bırakmadı. RIGONDEAUX her şeye rağmen geri gidiyor. Hiç olmazsa son 5-10 saniyede başka şeyler olsaydı. Las Vegas'ta RIGONDEAUX ve Francisco arasındaki mücadele bitti. Şimdi puan hakemlerinin kararını bekleyeceğiz. Steve Morov, Richard Ocasio, Don Trella. Masa hakemleri bunlar. Kararı bekleyeceğiz. 28 galibiyeti vardı. 3 mağlubiyeti Francisco'nun. Guillermo RIGONDEAUX 15 maç 15 galibiyetti. İkisinin de knockout ortalamaları birbirine çok yakındı. %67 RIGONDEAUX. Graham Francisco o da %69. Bu karşılaşmada da knockout gerçekleşmedi. 15 galibiyetinin 10 tanesini knockout'ta yapmıştı RIGONDEAUX. Eğer bu maçı kazanırsa 16. maçında 10 knockout'ta kalmış olacak. JZ'in promotion şirketi Rock Nation'la anlaşma yaptı. 10 milyon dolar karşılığında 3 yıllığına, yıllık 3,5 milyon dolara yakın bir para. Türk parasına vurursan 11 trilyona yakın bir bütçe yılda RIGONDEAUX için.
And here at the Mandalay Bay, after 10 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. We have a unanimous decision. Don Trella scores it.
3 hakemin ortak kararıyla bir kazanan var diyor.
Steve Morrow and Ricardo Ocasio both have it 100-90. All three go to the winner by unanimous decision.
Hepsi de %90 vermiş. Bütün roundları kazanarak mücadeleyi RIGONDEAUX kazanıyor. %90. Bütün hakemler bütün roundları RIGONDEAUX'a vermiş. Bu şekilde uluslararası şampiyonluk kemeri böylelikle beline takılıyor. Bu federasyondaki 4. büyük kemer. Dünya şampiyonluk kemeri, gümüş kemer, kıtalar arası kemer ve uluslararası kemer şeklinde söyleyebiliriz.
But now here he is against Willie Casey, the Irishman. 5 years ago, he took Casey out in the opening round. Dickens has been saying it is his destiny to be the world champion. What can he do?
It's a big question, John. It really is. What can he do?
Well, it'd certainly rank alongside the likes of Lloyd Honeyghan against Don Curry, against Randolph Turpin, against Sugar Ray Robinson, if he pulls this one off.
Oh, it'd be such an amazing win. It'd be the biggest win by any British fighter in recent years, that's for sure. I think the Turpin-Robinson thing stands alone.
1951, that was. So often with RIGONDEAUX, it's a quiet opening as he just looks to see what his opponent has got.
And he makes you miss by inches, centimetres sometimes.
He wound up on that left hand.
Good jab there from Dickens as well, that's good. A little bit of confidence maybe there for Jazza.
Self-confessed bad lad when he was a kid. Jazza turned his life around with his religion and with his boxing. Works as a volunteer in soup kitchens and night shelters back home in Liverpool. A proud product of the Everton Red Triangle Gym. He missed by a lot there, did he?
I think just clipped him as well with that, actually, with that left hand, just as Jazza was just spinning round. And just before that, I was just about to say, well, Jazza's the only one who's landed with a punch so far, but then Rigondeaux prepared to that. That's the thing with Rigondeaux, it's very hard and you can't make any mistakes.
Behind the scenes, those who've been working say that all through the week Rigondeaux's been sweetness and light. Come fight night, it's been a slightly different story. Business time. Very, very quiet opening round.
But this is the Rigondeaux way, isn't it? Just likes to have a look at his opponent. Nice little jab from Jazza. Landing on the gloves there was Jazza Dickens. It's good to see he's willing to let his hands go though if he sees the opportunity.
Well, he can't allow himself to be overawed, can't allow himself to be intimidated. Good shot there from Rigondeaux in the closing seconds of the round. Right hand gets through, and a little bit of an old-fashioned stare between the two. In the corner, Paul and Michael Stevenson.
Start. It's nice to get a little taste of the gloves early, you know what I mean? It's good. Time, okay, now these good fighters, they react to feints. He's going for every feint that you make. What we can start to do now is you've had a good look at him, see now the gears mesh, we're in there now, you know what I mean? Start them feints going, you done a little feint of Aussie, and then come up with a 4-punch combination. Great plate. You don't have to be too through with it. 2 or 3 of them around, you know what I mean? 3 or 4, just enough to stay ahead. Otherwise, stay cagey the way you were. Footwork's great. Do about 3 or 4 them big left hands over the top. Most of them step away from the J, you know what I mean? Don't come under them. I know we come through, but it's not. Keep up with it. Okay? Nice and relaxed. Face him up. Take it away with the outstep. Start to think right.
Quiet opening round. Did that right hand from Rigondeaux in the closing seconds, did that enough to take it for him?
Yeah, I think so. I do. It was a very cagey round, but he didn't get totally outboxed, Jazza Dickens. That's a good thing, you know. He didn't run overall with anything, but I think, yeah, just that little thing. It was a cagey opener by both.
Battle of the Southpaws. So many of the great Cuban amateurs over the years have been Southpaws. That was the way, the coaching method. They were encouraged to adopt the Southpaw stance simply because it is so awkward.
He's practically cheating. Good left hand there from Rigondeaux. Sharp. There's no telling his. That's the thing about Rigondeaux as well. There's no telling his punches. He doesn't move the hand before he throws it. It goes direct from where it is. Oh, good left hand from Jazza.
Left hand from Dickens. He's poker-faced as well, isn't he, Rigondeaux? Yeah. Doesn't give away any sort of emotion.
I'll tell you what, though, Jazza Dickens, his tactics are not too bad, actually. You know, he's trying to stay safe, and then when he's going to throw his punches, he's committing fully. So I think something like with Rigondeaux, who makes you miss by inches, you're afraid to overcommit, so you end up throwing sloppy punches, and then he makes you pay with it. But Jazza's, no, he's flying in with his shots when he decides to throw them.
Rigondeaux just waiting for Dickens to commit himself. He might have a long wait. Dickens trying to stay tight, compact, and adopting a cagey approach himself. Look at those faces on the far side of the ring, every one of them not wanting to miss 1 second, because that's all it takes with the blink of an eyelid. Rigondeaux hasn't really landed a big shot as yet. He's had the one left hand in this round. Dickens responded, so on that basis, fairly level, and that was blocked. there's hardly been a punch thrown for the last minute and a half. Sorry if it sounds a little bit quiet, but that's the way it is. Dickens not prepared to commit himself. Likewise, Rigondeaux.
And this is where the criticism stems from Rigondeaux, is that he's not willing to ever take the lead. He's always reactive, never proactive in his work.
Dropped by Top Rank, the promoters, and by HBO, the American boxing channel, for precisely that reason. Well, how do you score that? That's got to be a level round,
it's got to
surely.
be, haven't it? You know, nothing. They both landed with a left hand. That was it.
It's a 1-1 draw. Well, let's take a look at them. There's the left hand of Rigondeaux.
Fantastic shot, isn't it?
And here's the left hand. No, that's a
different angle.
From a different angle, and in a moment we'll see the left hand of Dickens.
Well, if that was it, it missed.
What can you do?
Well, what's happened here?
Broken jaw.
Just stay calm and all scrolls.
I think Jazz is saying he's broke his jaw.
He's gone. The fight's over.
We'll get him again.
That one shot, I think. That one shot has ended the fight. It's all over.
We saw it swelling and we caught it.
Well, what an anticlimax. One punch has seemingly ended the fight. The left hand from Rigondeaux. And that has resulted in a broken jaw, as spotted in the corner. And as soon as they spotted that fact, they pulled him out.
That's just heartbreaking for Jazz Dickens. Getting beat's one thing, but a thing like that, having your jaw broken so early in a fight, when it's a great shot.
It was a great shot.
It's a great shot, but you know, it's just one of those things. You can get hit with 20 of those shots, you know, one after the other, nothing happens. But you get caught right in the right place and it breaks your jaw.
Well, it was a hell of a punch.
It's beautifully timed. So you just dipping the shoulder, then moving the head across as well, just to put the weight into the punch.
Well, you have to say, what a shame. What a pity.
But it's a shame, because obviously for Jazz Dickens, which we feel for, but also people come out, they wanted to see more of the great Rigondeaux, and you know.
All we saw in the end was one round which he won, second round which was, we scored it level, but it was the one big punch which ended it. Broken jaw for Jazz Dickens, and the dream has not come to reality.
Well, actually, looking back at the replay, Jazz had actually missed with his big left hand, so it would have been a Rigo round, really. But it looked like he caught him with a shot, and yeah, we didn't get to see anything that to where we hoped. With Jazz, you know, going out on his shield or pulling one of the biggest upsets in boxing history, or Rigo putting on a masterclass. Either way, we sort of feel a little bit cheated. I hope that Jazz Dickens gets his opportunity again, and the jaw heals and he can continue his career. That's the most important part.
Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that means that the winner and still the WBA Super Bantamweight Champion of the world from Miami by way of Cuba is Guillermo Rigondeaux.
So Rigondeaux retains his title.
Fresh as a pro. Rigo is now 36, and 6 years younger comes a fired up Mexican challenger who believes wholeheartedly this is the time to take the little man. Moises Flores finally has his chance under the bright lights. The WBA Super Bantamweight title on the line. And a wonderful hors d'oeuvre here, Paulie, of unbeaten fighters meeting before the big one.
Yeah, Rigondeaux's going to have a Kongi guy in front of him. We'll see if he can, if Moises can match any of the talent Rigondeaux has. You see Rigondeaux setting up for a left cross that grazed him there, but He's definitely going to show the enthusiasm. An undefeated guy always has a bit more enthusiasm, and it's harder to take away. It's harder to take away the winning mentality from him. So we'll see how Rigondeaux frustrates him, or if he can frustrate him.
He's also a massive super bantamweight. Huge is Flores. He's wiry, though, and wild, and a real character. As we saw the exuberance in the ring walk, and
just a calm demeanor by Rigondeaux. You know, you'd say by the textbook he's doing the wrong thing right now. He's a lefty, he's going to his own left, he's going towards the right hand, but really you can't say Rigondeaux does anything wrong because he figures out a way to make it right.
he's brilliantly astute, isn't he?
Just
the southpaw.
Yeah, and just a great sense of distance. You see, even when he's walking around, even if he's by textbook, it's the wrong way. Now he's switching directions. Now he's going back, but he's just finds his way out of range and in range so smoothly and really so calmly. You see how he's got Moises Flores missing by just a little bit, but yet he's so calm, even with the punches just barely missing him, you know?
It's inches, isn't it, in distance?
It's even less than inches, I'll tell you, it's crazy.
Yep.
But he's so calm. Usually a punch whizzes by you that close, you hear the wind, and it'll alert you a little bit, it'll make you a little tense. Instead, it's like he's in his living room, you know, shots missing, and eventually, once he gets you missing enough, he'll start to get your timing, and he'll start to make you pay for that.
Those skills honed over many years, and it's been many years since Rigondeaux has been defeated. But he's never lost, Flores.
Look at this terrific. Look at those little moves. You know, finding the escape right there when you think you have him trapped. Changing the level. Now he changed the angle. You see how he just gave him the shoulder lead and then he changed the angle right there. Little things that just aren't appreciated by enough people in boxing, and that's why he gets criticism, especially in the U.S. There's too much of a concentration on knockouts, too much of a concentration on toe-to-toe fighting. I mean, that people don't stop enough to appreciate this guy and the little nuances that he does. There's so many little nuances he's doing just in this first round alone. You know that already Flores, as much as he wants to pressure him, is already calmer because he's confused. He's like, what's going on? You know, I can't touch this guy even though he's right in front of me. And before you know it, Rigondeaux will start to let go of the counter. So there it is right there. You see, there was one shot, and that's probably won him the round. You see how a round where nothing's really going on, Moises was pushing. Oh,
wonderful uppercut as well, and a left hand after the bell. And down goes Flores. But is that right? Hang on a minute. Controversy here at the end of the first round of this world title fight, because that happened after the bell. Oh dear, what are we going to have here, Paulie, as he's laid out?
I don't know, I want to see that replay again.
The Rigondeaux team is celebrating. They believe it's a knockout victory.
In the least, it's a no contest. I don't think you can disqualify Rigondeaux for such a shot at the belt.
But your first reaction was no. And Jane Ady's in there, and I think he's trying to explain to Team Rigondeaux.
Well, yeah, Vic Draculich is in there trying to explain to Tim Rigondeaux, but I don't want to...
Vic Draculich, sorry, yeah. What a confusion here at ringside, definitely after the bell.
And here's what
your reaction was that he made a meal of it, wasn't it, at first?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see now again. Let me see, because I think he stands up at first. Look, I think he's, look. I don't know.
Maybe
if you go down like you died, you go down like you died right away. You know what I'm saying? You don't stand for a second and then go down like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when a guy gets knocked out like that, he goes down instantly. You don't stand for a split second and then completely lose consciousness. When you lose consciousness like that from a punch, you lose consciousness the instant it lands, not 1 second later.
Well, it was a second after the bell, we believe. So what is going to happen here? A no contest?
You know, I would make it a no contest. You know, we'll see. You know, I would make it a no contest. I think he made a meal of it. I really do. Let's see it again. Watch when the shot lands. If you go out knocked out cold like this, you go out cold before you hit the ground. Instead, he's standing. Oh, look, he even raised his right glove. He even raised his right glove for a second, and then he said, you know what? Let me make a meal of this. When you get knocked out this way, the way he's laying right now, you're out the instant the shot lands. You are out before you hit the ground. And he was not out before he hit the ground. He kind of made a meal of it for a second, and then he just said, you know what? There was holding behind the head. He was holding and hitting him with the uppercut behind the head. And that is a foul. But that had nothing to do with the way the fight ended. Why are you focusing on this when he wasn't holding him behind the head when the lethal punch landed? Because when the final punch lands, which is the one that's in question, there's no holding behind the head.
No holding there.
What are you worried about the holding behind the head for?
I think he was about to tell him off for the behind the head holding, and actually...
And that's when Flores realized, you know what, let me make a meal of this. That's when Flores took that second and suddenly make him lose. You know, like right here, because it's certainly a foul. It's certainly a foul. Well, look, now the shot lands here. There's no holding behind the head. Reklich was in the motion of jumping in.
We've got the Unified Championship rules in front of us. Referees the sole arbiter.
And the winner by knockout victory, and still the super champion, and now recognized as the all-over WBA super bantamweight champion of the world, still undefeated, Guillermo El Chacal Rigondeaux.
They were celebrating Team
for the 130-pound World Championship. Timothy Bradley, what will you look for early on here?
This is going to be a chess match, a high-level chess match. Lomachenko normally starts a little slow. He picks it up midway point. I think in the beginning, I think he's going to be looking at Rigo, trying to check out his plan, see what he's trying to do, what he wants to do, and he'll pick it up midway point.
One thing we didn't mention in the tail of the tape, these guys have fought together more than 900 times between them. There is one loss since 2003.
An absurd combined amateur and pro record of 885-14. 885 wins between their amateur and pro careers with these two guys in the ring.
Rigondeaux just landed a quick 1-2 on Lomachenko. Lomachenko had his guard partially up, but I thought something went through right there. He met Lomachenko where he was going to be.
Loma comes with a left hand that Rigo was able to duck away from, and then tried to take the angle and come back with the right hook.
Lomachenko just looks so much bigger than Rigondeaux. I mean, it just looks so much bigger.
He's got the 3-inch height advantage. We told you what they weighed in this morning. Of course, rehydrating throughout the entire day after yesterday afternoon's weigh-in as well. Lomachenko #2 on ESPN's pound-for-pound list. That's exactly what was described in the referee meetings. Now, we showed you that earlier because that was a concern of Lomachenko. What happens when he ties up both of his gloves, and how could he break free? And referee Steve Willis was able to give him the instructions, able to share that with you earlier tonight.
Well, Rigondeaux knows that Lomachenko needs to get close in order to get his work off. That's when he does his best work. So guess what he did? He tied his hands up right away, so he couldn't work. I believe these rounds are going to be really tough to score.
Getting a little closer is Lomachenko. He's just touching Rigo on the inside that time. See the footwork, doubles up that jab with the right hand.
Watch Lomachenko's jab. It is incredibly swift.
Coming with a straight left hand down that time was Lomachenko, as Rigo was caught in that defensive posture he's comfortable in. End of round 1 for the title.
1xBet – надежный букмекер. Делайте ставки на спорт по самым высоким коэффициентам и зарабатывайте больше. Устанавливайте приложение 1xBet на компьютер или мобильный, и большие выигрыши от 1xBet будут всегда доступны.
Корпус. И жди уже слева. Ты видишь, он именно вытягивает на левую. И ты в этом положении стал. Посмотри, в этом положении стал. И сразу же уже начинай накручивать. И руки перед собой. Капнул слева один. Да. Поэтому внимательно. Растянул передние, задние руки здесь. Раскачал. Только он сгибается, сразу же позицию занимает. Необходимо, ты понял?
this is what happened in the locker room pre-fight. The referee instructions. Loma was concerned. And then this, Tim, was what we saw in the first round.
Exactly. Like I told you, every time Lomachenko steps in, he likes to work. RIGONDEAUX didn't allow him to work, but that is exactly what he was complaining about to the referee and showing him that's what and he wanted to figure a way out how he can get his hands released.
Lomachenko says he learned all he needed to about professional boxing in his second match against Orlando Salido. Guillermo RIGONDEAUX might still teach him a thing or two.
Right now, RIGONDEAUX looks sturdy, not fazed by all the movement that Lomachenko's doing. Looks like he's in total control, but that right hook right there looked like it stung RIGONDEAUX a little bit.
You could hear it. Bernardo Osuna was listening in to the corner of Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. Bernie, what can you tell us?
Pedro Diaz, who trained Guillermo RIGONDEAUX during his amateur career on his way to gold medals, told him, go win points. Very simple, very precise instructions. Now, how does he do it? That's the question.
Now, that is the big question, because he has gathered up points throughout his career and then coasted home with that classic Cuban style.
Piling up points is an amateur way of thinking, is it not, Tim?
I mean, it's about points, of course, but the thing that I just witnessed right now is that, and the ref didn't say anything about it, but he just clinched him again, and he walked him back to the ropes, and the refs didn't have anything to say about it.
Lomo trying to get to the inside behind that jab. There's another moment there, and on what was assumed to be a break, he connected. He was trying to pull free. That was the concern pre-fight, and now Willis will have a conversation with him.
Lomachenko is just he's a well-oiled machine. He can fight anywhere. He knows every area of the ring, inside, outside, you name it.
And that has a lot to do with the footwork that came about with a unique find by his father when he was a kid. He took him away from boxing for a little bit, Mark.
When he was 6, 7 years old, his father insisted on 4 years of Ukrainian dance. He said, no, Dad, I don't want to do it. Can I find another sport? He says, you want to be a fighter, you must learn to dance. And what we do see here is, I would say, the best footwork in boxing.
So he took traditional Ukrainian dance classes. And Timmy, you love Loma's footwork.
Oh my goodness. Don't be surprised if this fight don't go to distance.
Look at the grasping behind the neck by Rigo right there. As I think Steve Willis is going to have to take control of things here at the conclusion of round number 2. Holding behind the neck now by Rigo as he tries to fire off the left uppercut.
.1xBet – надежный букмекер. Делайте ставки на спорт по самым высоким коэффициентам и зарабатывайте больше. Устанавливайте приложение 1xBet на компьютер или мобильный, и большие выигрыши от 1xBet будут всегда доступны.
Back here at the theater at Madison Square Garden, the world title fight, and it has really heated up, mostly because of the action we saw in that final minute of round 2 when Lomachenko had that desire to just keep fighting through what he was trying to pull his arms free of a break, and he landed a solid left hand against RIGONDEAUX. Pace has clearly picked up here. I'll show you the replay of what we saw in round number 2, and watch this moment here. As they're clinching, he squats down, and then both men come with an exchange. There was the uppercut, and then the straight short left hand by Loma, saying, come on, let's make this a fight. And it is indeed.
we're seeing Rigo's strategy is that hold, and the answer that Lomachenko has is not just a jab, but a double jab.
Look for the straight left hand of RIGONDEAUX. Of Lomachenko. Look for that shot. It's open. Every time Lomachenko steps forward, you see RIGONDEAUX lean to his left hand, his left side. He's right in the line of fire for that left hand.
Look at RIGONDEAUX, able to duck down, get off to the side, stay just, and I mean just, out of the range of some of those punches. There are moments when you watch Lomo and you see what he's able to do with his hands at short range, and then you think about some of the unusual training that you witnessed, Mark. Stuff with the tennis ball on the end of an elastic string, catching quarters in midair.
He's trained for dexterity, both physical and mental. And what they're really going for is the moment where he improvises. The moment where he's so well drilled that he can think on his feet.
I don't know, to me, it seems like RIGONDEAUX looks like he's discouraged a little bit, in my opinion.
What do you see, Tim?
I don't know. His facial expression, the way he's reacting. You know, there's nothing that he can do right now besides hold to keep Lomachenko off of him.
Lomo was able to land a left hand underneath that right elbow. Left hand to the body moments ago here in round 3. Steve Willis with a quick talk to Rigo. Tripling up a right uppercut is the champ.
He is playing with RIGONDEAUX right now.
When Lomachenko is at his best, he doesn't look like any other fighter. He has what Pacquiao had, what Ali had. Looks like Lomachenko.
He's a little bit of the best parts, the most sensational parts, the most entertaining parts of some of the all-time greats. But to your point, we haven't seen it before.
XBet – надежный букмекер. Делайте ставки на спорт по самым высоким коэффициентам и зарабатывайте больше. Устанавливайте приложение 1xBet на компьютер или мобильный, и большие выигрыши от 1xBet будут всегда доступны.
И он бьет после этого левой. Видел? Смотри. Голова, живот, голова растянул. И еще раз туда же голова, живот, голова. Руки перед собой. Ты понял? Vamos a subir, compadre. Vamos a subir, vamos a subir. Vamos, pingo de redondeado. Vamos de redondeado, va. Vamos de redondeado. Vamos, ahora de redondeado, mejor. Vamos de redondeado.
Fourth round of our championship fight. Timmy, let's go back and show you that tripling up of the uppercut by Vasily.
Right here, you're going to see Vasily Lomachenko throws 3 uppercuts. The second one blocked. The third one comes right up the middle. Guess what? He did that. You want to know how? With pressure. With pressure. He saw how his man reacted. He dropped right in front of him, and he split his guard with the uppercut.
Just the fact to throw a triple uppercut alone, that is Vasily Lomachenko. Let's check in with our ringside reporter, Bernardo Osuna.
Frustration in the blue corner of Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. Pedro Diaz basically threw water in his face, said, "You've got to take risks. What are you waiting for?" So they see what we see.
You know, it's interesting because we've talked about that for months, since the time that he accepted his fight. You can't take this fight without knowing that you're going to have to take risks, Mark.
Well, I mean, RIGONDEAUX says that he's taken all the risks he could ever take, and nothing could.
Wow. I mean,
it's just a matter of time, guys.
He can clown anybody. Sorry to interrupt, but it's Loma. Look at this. This is moments ago. Watch him, get him in a defensive posture, know that he's got him pinned, and say, you know what, I'm just going to turn right around you in the middle of a championship fight.
Lomachenko haven't even turned it up yet. Midway point. Just watch. Just watch. Angles, speed. I've never seen anybody play with Rigondeaux the way he's playing with Rigondeaux.
An undefeated world champion, and he's toying with him at moments.
Listen to the beat of his punches. It's like music. It's like it's improvisational. It's like jazz.
But it's all set up by his feet. Look at his feet.
And he is riffing in there. And pushing him back, create a little space. Final minute of round 4, goes back to the uppercut, then switches it up with the left hand as well. Comes to the inside, gets a little work in the kitchen.
Rigondeaux landed a nice short uppercut in that exchange.
How about the body punch with the right hand? Now to the inside, the uppercut with the left hand as Rigo goes to the belt line.
Tim, is this Rigo getting old, or is he just outclassed?
I think it's a combination of both. I just think, honestly, I think he's 37, but also at the same time, I believe he is getting outclassed at the very moment. But there's time still left, everybody. That's why I love boxing. You always have a chance.
Lomachenko dug to the body again that time, and wrapping up, trying to free his hands again is Lomachenko.
It's just a whole lot of clinching.
Rigo now inviting him forward, often trying to set traps, but not able to deliver.
1xBet – надежный букмекер. Делайте ставки на спорт по самым высоким коэффициентам и зарабатывайте больше. Устанавливайте приложение 1xBet на компьютер или мобильный, и большие выигрыши от 1xBet будут всегда доступны.
Вот так и крути его. А ты не видишь, когда он наклонился? Вот иди в сторону. Вот здесь ты контролируешь. И снизу поднимай отсюда. Понял? Сместился, а потом снизу. Руки перед собой.
Joe, Tim, and Mark with you here. As that guy needs to find an answer. 17-0 is Guillermo Rigondeaux. But Timmy said outclassed so far tonight by the champ, Vasily Lomachenko.
Rigondeaux says he's seen everything. Nothing worse could be done to him that was done in Cuba. I don't think he's seen this before.
Never seen anything like Lomachenko before. Lomachenko said he's the Cuban assassin. He's beat about 7 of them in his amateur career, and he's about to be number 8.
Lomachenko has been brought up by his dad, Anatoly, to be what he is seeking to be, and that is the perfect fighter, the most skilled fighter to ever live. That is the goal. This is such a unique relationship with Anatoly, Mark.
It's usually a failed experiment to create a perfect athlete in anything, much less a sport, is dangerous and treacherous. As this one, the strength and conditioning coach, Cecilio Flores, asked Anatoly, when did you know? Anatoly turned to him and said, before he was conceived.
Yeah, we rave about him, and someone would look at the record and say, yeah, but what about that one loss? Well, folks, when you fight a world champion for a world title in your second pro fight, and you make that transition to the pro ranks, guy comes in overweight, roughs you up, continued low blows. It's a learning lesson. But Mark, when you go back to the past, and this is where Floyd Mayweather did a disservice to the sport for many years, because we started overvaluing the zero in the loss column. But all the greats of past generation had a loss. In fact, they used to say you're not even ready to fight for a world title until you've learned from a loss.
Well, I don't think your career becomes a dramatic proposition until you lose. A loss is the most overrated commodity in all boxing.
There was a punch right there on the break. You saw Steve Willis come in, and then Rigo still through, but this has become an issue with the clinching, and there's a combination from Rigo. Tried to dig to the body. That was blocked by the elbows of Loma. Bent over time and time again.
It's really, I'm going to tell you this, it's really hard hitting a guy that's going down so low like that. It really is.
That time he turned to give an angle with the right hand.
Well, Lomachenko, there's nothing that he hasn't seen. There's nothing that he can't do in the ring, and he's going to find a way on how to hit this man while he's down like that.
What would you be doing, Tim?
Well, I would go to the side he leans to. I would throw my right hooks like he's there right there. That's what I would do. and come behind it when he pops up with the straight left hand.
You have to remember, this is a guy who has not lost since 2003, and the best he's got is ducking and holding.
Mary threw his punch with the most intent that we've seen tonight. Look at Lomo as he's being ridden back in a headlock that time, looking over to the referee. I think Steve Willis is going to have a lot of work ahead of him as we get to these middle and later rounds here of this world title fight as Loma's in control.
.1xBet – надежный букмекер. Делайте ставки на спорт по самым высоким коэффициентам и зарабатывайте больше. Устанавливайте приложение 1xBet на компьютер или мобильный, и большие выигрыши от 1xBet будут всегда доступны.
Ты же знаешь, он наклоняется, будет хватать. Зашагнул, приконтролируй.
I'll show you what happened after the bell at the end of the last round. And this thing is getting chippy. And watch this. This is well after the bell here. These are two top 10 pound for pound fighters in the world. But right now it seems like there is a big gap between the guy who's number 2 and the guy who's number 7.
For a guy who considers himself a gentleman sportsman, Lomachenko, he certainly adapted well to a dirtied up style, wouldn't you say, Tim?
That he learned from the Salido fight. You know, that was something that he was missing in his repertoire. You know, and I like it. I honestly like it. He's not going to allow anybody to be dirty with him and hit him with low blows or hit him in a headlock. And that's the way you react as a professional. If you want to be dirty, I'm going to be dirty right back. If the ref doesn't want to do anything about it, I'm going to do something about it.
Bernardo, what can you offer?
You know, in the corner, it was very interesting because they told him, we want you to spin him, we want you to feint and then throw quick combinations, and reminded him of that Salido fight because that's what changed. And you'll remember what he told us in the fighter meetings. Lomachenko said, I only need to make a mistake once and I learn, and that's what he's proving tonight, much to Tim and Mark's point.
Yeah, that Salido fight was the great learning experience. Put a notch in the belt. And now he's dealing with it perfectly here against Rigondeaux. And you can see he's getting a little more used to some of these tactics, especially with Rigondeaux bending down, creating a little bit of space, and then pumping in those right hands. Now turns to the side, takes the angle to the left to try to find something.
Tim, how do you solve Lomachenko, or how do you attempt to if you're Rigondeaux?
All I'm going to say is that I don't think that person is born yet. I truly believe that. His footwork.
There's a point deduction now, as Rigondeaux is going to be docked a point. I mean, he is so far down on the scorecards, seemingly as it is, but that is the first moment that Willis is making him and holding him accountable here.
The writer, Bryn Jonathan Butler, did a study on Cuban fighters, and he said that Rigondeaux's face was the saddest I've seen on the island. And that pathos is what I saw in the corner there. A defeated guy.
A guy who was once a hero to countrymen, and then Fidel Castro called a traitor as he was trying to find freedom. And he found freedom, and he found wealth, and he found fame. But tonight, deep into the autumn of his career, he is finding the most skilled fighter in the world opposite him. Another combination from Loma, and Loma once again looks over at Willis. As we come to the end of round number 6 here.
1xBet – надежный букмекер. Делайте ставки на спорт по самым высоким коэффициентам и зарабатывайте больше. Устанавливайте приложение 1xBet на компьютер или мобильный, и большие выигрыши от 1xBet будут всегда доступны.
Рукой приконтролировал. Разворот. Пауза большая, поэтому не получается. Чуть дернул, разворот. И оттуда снизу, как можно ниже. Рука заблокирована, ты без...
There's a discussion going on in the corner of Rigondeaux here in between the 6th and 7th round as they're looking at the tape. That's it. He is saying, I don't want any more. Are you kidding me? The undefeated number 7 pound-for-pound fighter is not coming out to continue against Loma.